Hey everyone, so my name's Steve, and what you're about to see here is a test session of the Twilight 2000 tabletop RPG 4th edition by Free League. Now, a quick note about myself. I've been running tabletop RPGs now for 26 years, and I first discovered Twilight 2000 in the early 90s now. Yeah, it was the big yellow book. I believe it was version 2.2. If you're not familiar with Twilight 2000, just a quick summary. It takes place in an alternate timeline where World War III broke out in 1996, and the game starts in the year 2000. So there has been nuclear war going on for 4 years by the time the game starts. And unlike other post-apocalyptic games, which typically take place way after the apocalypse, and have much more of a gamma world feel to them, where radiation has given you superpowers and there's these mythological like beasts running around, sort of like in Fallout, Twilight 2000 takes a much more realistic, dirty, gritty approach to what nuclear apocalypse might be. So radiation doesn't give you superpowers. It is just a bad thing that kills people, and there's no monsters or mutated beasts. Your enemies are hunger, dehydration, other human beings, disease. It's just a really gritty game, primarily about survival. Now, in the session that you're about to see here, several of the game mechanics are going to be touched upon. So you'll see the mechanics for overland travel. If you're familiar with other Free League games like Mutant Year Zero or Forbidden Lands, it's similar to those rules. You're moving around in a hexagonal map. But anyways, yeah, overland movement, both in a vehicle and on foot. The players will have a pickup truck for about half the game. You'll see the mechanics for hunting for food, making camp so they can sleep through the night, cooking the food. Unlike in Forbidden Lands, if you go out and you hunt and you get fresh meat, you don't have to cook it, but you risk food poisoning if you don't, because disease and illness are very big parts of Twilight 2000. They're things that your character has to consider. So yeah, you actually have to cook the meat, or you could get food poisoning, unlike, like I said, Forbidden Lands. There's also going to be a single battle that takes place, so you'll get to see some of the combat rules. I just wanted to mention a few things that I really like about combat in Twilight 2000. Its lethality is pretty intense. This might actually be a turnoff for some players, but I think it works very well in the world of Twilight 2000. Really, it seems like a game where there would be tons and tons of combat. It has this military feel to it. Your players are usually United States soldiers that have been stranded in Poland. But the truth is, in the game, you have to be really careful before you engage in combat. With the way the mechanics work, any random mook with a pistol can get a lucky shot and end a player character in one attack. It's not that hard to do. So every single firefight is a serious deal. Every single combat is significant, and it's not something the players should enter into lightly. So if you can avoid fighting, that's the way to go. One mechanic that I know on the Free League forums has been a little bit controversial, but that I really appreciate, is the use of ammo dice. Basically, I won't get really heavy into how the system works here. I might make another video on that. But when you fire your weapon, you roll your skill dice, and then you choose a rate of fire on the weapon. A semi-automatic weapon is going to be, you choose like a 1 or a 2, and then a light machine gun I think can go up to 6. And what you're choosing is the number of d6 in bullets that you want to expend on the attack. So for example, if you're firing an M16, you could say I want to use rate of fire 3. You roll 3d6. For each one of those dice that come up as a 6, you hit an additional target nearby, or you hit the same target again. Or if the shot misses, because your primary skill dice miss, it turns into suppression and your target is pinned. And suppression is a very powerful mechanic in this game. But what I like about it is the realistic consumption of ammunition. You choose to roll the 3d6 because you're trying to get 6s, but the result of that 3d6, the total, is the amount of bullets that you have fired out of the gun. If you're using an M16 that's got a 30-round magazine, you could empty the round very fast. In most other RPGs I've played that use modern firearms, bullet consumption is really slow. You will go most combats without ever having to reload your weapon. And I know it seems like a lot of ammunition to be consuming, but a round of combat in Twilight 2000, it's up to 10 seconds. How many rounds can you fire out of just a semi-automatic weapon in 10 seconds? Go on YouTube and look up video of a real shootout and just see how fast guns are firing. So yeah, I really like that realistic consumption of ammunition, and it's powerful. If you choose to fire a lot of bullets out of your gun, like I said, even if you miss your target, the chance of suppressing your target increases greatly, and that's extremely valuable in Twilight 2000. Another feature of the combat that I really enjoy is the need to maneuver and reposition yourself on the battlefield. The combat in Twilight 2000 is done in little hexagonal maps, where each hexagon, I believe, is 10 meters. The alpha comes with, I think it was 8 maps, really beautiful maps. I think when the final release comes out, it's going to be 16 battle maps, and I'm sure there'll be more. There'll be plenty of user-made maps. But in a lot of RPGs I've played, except for narrative reasons, all you would do in combat, really, when it breaks out, is you plant your feet, you make attack rolls, and you never move. Maybe, there's that initial melee charge at the beginning, but think about how many RPGs you've played where, like, narratively, maybe you're moving around the battlefield, but mechanically, you've planted your feet. There's no reason to ever move or outmaneuver your opponent. And you're just trading attack rolls back and forth. I've seen that in a lot of RPGs. In Twilight 2000, that's not necessarily the case. When you take cover in Twilight 2000, it only covers three facings of the hexagon that you're in is the most cover you can get. So it's beneficial to try to maneuver around somebody. Also, a teammate can pin someone down whilst you maneuver around them, guaranteeing they won't be able to fire back at you while you get new positioning. Also, intervening terrain is really important. You might set up to shoot at a bad guy and you realize, oh, there's trees and a half-destroyed building and a burnt-out vehicle in the way. This is actually a really difficult shot. I need to find a better position, or the enemy is outmaneuvering you, trying to get to your flanks, so maybe you need to back off and take cover somewhere else. But in the first session I played, moving around the battlefield, it was a big part of the game, and I really liked that. That said, in this particular session, that doesn't happen just kind of by happenstance. In the battle that happens in this game, the players get into a fantastic ambush position. They basically they infiltrate an enemy position, and they get to set up completely undetected. So the enemy has to maneuver, but the players are in such perfect position they don't ever move. So despite all that about maneuvering on the battlefield, in this particular session you won't see that, but normally you would. But anyways, yeah, that's it for this introduction. I do want to say, if you found this video even slightly entertaining or informative, let me know in the comments. I put a little bit of effort into uploading these videos, and I just want to know if you're interested in seeing more. I'll upload more content of Twilight 2000 and maybe other Free League games as well. If you do really like the video, what could really help me, because I'm basically a nothing YouTube channel right now, a like and a subscribe would be magnificent. My goal right now is 10 subscribers, not 1,000, not 10,000, just 10. Let's see if we can do it. All right. Anyways, thanks for watching. Here's the game. Let's talk really quick about the basic dice mechanics. All right. So the way the dice mechanics work, pretty simple. You're gonna roll 2 dice. Well, most of the time you roll 2 dice. Sometimes you'll roll 1. You roll 2 dice, and every 6 or better is a success. If you roll a 10 or better, that's 2 successes. So, for example, if you've got, I don't know, say a strength D10 and close combat D6, you'd roll a D10 and a D6. You're trying to get at least 1 6 or better. If your entire roll comes up as 1s, well, if you roll 2 or more 1s, I'll talk about how you could get more later, but if you roll 2 or more 1s, that's like a botch. If you fail a roll, you can push yourself, just like in the other Free League games. If you can't re-roll 1s when you push. If you succeed, great. If you fail, you take stress. And and most rolls are going to have a bonus or a penalty to them. So this has tripped people up in my other game a little bit at first. But whenever you get a bonus, you are going to increase the size of your smallest die by 1 step per bonus. So in the previous example where you had a D10 and D6, if you have a +1 bonus, that D6 becomes a D8. That's that. D12 being the strongest you can get with each die. If you have a penalty, you are going to reduce the value of your highest die. I think that's the way that works. And you could end up losing a die. If it goes below D6, it goes away, and yeah, so you can. So let's see here real quick. Just checking something in the book really quick.
Well, I hope AI stress doesn't get handed out as quickly as it does in the Alien RPG, because with only a limit of 4, boy, I'd be panicking in no time.
No, it's not like in the Alien RPG. I always warn my players, stress accumulates quickly and it's hard to get rid of, so think about that before you push. But the warning never takes hold.
Oh no. No.
Anyways, we did Destroyer of Worlds, and like everybody was a maniac by the end of that game.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I knew I messed this up. This is why I looked it up. What I said was very backwards before. Okay. When you have a bonus, it's your largest die that increases, not your smallest die. When your largest die cannot increase anymore, then the other die goes up. And then on the flip side, when you take a penalty, it is your smallest die that decreases to the point of where it could go away, and you end up with 1 die. So there you go.
All right.
When you're shooting a firearm, you get some bonus D6 based on your rate of fire, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. All right. Anyways, so the scenario for this setting is let me test out opening my map. How do I show this to everybody? Show party.
Hey.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the 4 squares on my screen. So I've got our videos and then the map.
All right, cool. And the map should be like big, right, front and center.
It's just the same as anyone else's video, but that may be something I could change. Let me look and see.
Yeah, maybe if you.
Yeah, if you double click it.
Yep. Got it.
Okay, I see. Okay, I figured out. All right, great. Okay, so this is a map of Poland. I don't think there's a way I can ping you guys on this map. There is not. So I'm going to have you scan the map. I wish there was a way I could ping you. right, scan the map for a second. Kind of near the middle, you're going to see a pickup truck icon on the map.
Yeah, I see it. It's wow. These names are going to give me trouble. But it's northwest of Krakow, right? Krakow.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that city, as I understand, is Stutzekasny. For anybody that watches this video on YouTube later who's Polish, I'm very sorry for my pronunciations. But anyways, all right. So our scenario begins. You are in a small settlement that has been constructed in this hex here. The settlement is a few U.S. military personnel and a lot of civilians with useful skills like farmers, mechanics, and stuff like that. And you guys have just been here for a little while, kind of surviving to see what goes next. You recently had a little bit of a setback when there was a terrible outbreak of pneumonia that went through the settlements. A few guys were sent out to get antibiotics, and they were successful. Not only did they get antibiotics, they found this awesome pickup truck that you guys are in possession of now. So at the start of this adventure, the problem this community is having right now is there's a local water source that has been badly poisoned by unknown chemicals. And this has been the water source of the settlement since the beginning. And what they need proper equipment to filter out the chemicals. And because it's a chemical contaminant and not like just bacteria or dirty water, it's not enough to use like iodine tablets or boil it or anything like that. They need some real equipment. The leader of your community does know a guy who has agreed to trade all of the equipment necessary to set up a large-scale filtration system for the entire community, and he's willing to give it away. Not give it away. He's willing to exchange it for the pickup truck and this awesome Russian machine gun that is in the back of it. So you guys have a two-part goal. If you scroll north a little bit, you'll see a settlement circled in green.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so your settlement has a Polish contact there who is sort of an underground trader by the name of Jacob. He's the one that agreed if you guys give him that pickup truck and the machine gun in the back, he'll send down this awesome U.S. Army filtration system that he has acquired so that your colony can get clean water. In addition to that, just north of that city, you see another one circled. Oh God, how's that pronounced? Rava Mazovetskaya, I think is how that was. In that town, you have heard rumors of another little group of U.S. soldiers, specifically a Captain Cruz. The leader of your colony wants you to try to make a visit to Captain Cruz while you're up there, mainly because Captain Cruz is supposed to have information of an Operation Reset. Operation Reset is a NATO contingency plan in case things go really wrong in Poland. They believe there's a secret bunker somewhere. Military command might still be there. The war might still be going on. They might even have a way home or a way to contact the United States. But Operation Reset being a top secret initiative, nobody knows much about it. But Captain Cruz does, and he's supposed to be in that city. So, two objectives: find Captain Cruz and talk to him, and deliver the pickup truck. Now, it's kind of up to you. You can take the pickup truck all the way up to Rava, and then bring it back down to drop it off. If you do that, you may have fuel concerns depending on how you choose to travel there. Alternatively, you can drop off the truck first, and then to make sure you get it there before it runs out of fuel, and then hike north the next 20 or 30 kilometers. It's up to you. Oh, another thing too, you guys can talk about this amongst yourself, but you'll have to decide between traveling on road versus off road. If you look at the truck tab in Google Sheets here, you'll see its travel speed at 9/5. This means if you travel on the roads, you will move 9 hexes per quarter day, which is very fast. If you travel off-road, you move 5 hexes per quarter day, which is still pretty good, but not nearly as fast. But of a bigger concern, if you look at your remaining fuel and your consumption, every quarter day that you travel on road, you're going to use 4 points of fuel. Every quarter day you travel off-road, you're going to use... not every quarter day, every hex. Every hex that you travel off-road is going to use 8 units of fuel. Every hex on-road is going to use 4 units of fuel. The reason your fuel is consumed so rapidly is that this vehicle has been converted to run on alcohol. So that's something you will have to kind of calculate when you're deciding on-road or off-road. You might be asking yourself, why travel off-road when it's so efficient to travel on-road? Well, it's crazy, crazy dangerous to travel on-road if you have anything that is obviously valuable on you, like a pickup truck, for example. Marauders will patrol the roads sometimes looking for ambush. You might run into remnants of the Soviet military. So it's really fast to travel on road, but it's really dangerous as well. But if you travel off road, your fuel goes really fast. It's something to consider. But anyways, I'm gonna send it off to you guys. It's gonna be the morning. Also, real quick too, you'll notice on your characters on your truck you have some domestic rations. Domestic rations are just cooked food that you guys found. But on your character sheets, you have something that's just called rations. The rations on your character sheet, those are like military rations that last for years. They're considered pretty valuable, whereas the domestic rations expire at the end of the week. So something to consider, if you can find other food sources while you're traveling, that might be the way to go, because you would likely want to save your military rations. But that is up to you. We'll discuss how that works with traveling. Also, yeah, it's June 1st, so it's the summer, nice and warm. But anyways, we'll begin on the morning. You two have just got the truck loaded up. You're getting ready to head out. Everyone's giving you the thumbs up. Good luck. Travel safe. And yeah, I'll throw it to you two.
Well, looking at the map here, it looks. I forgot what the per hex, but we're 11 of those units from green off-road. If we go on-road, it's actually considerably more, but we do travel faster.
Yeah, but I think it's not worth the risk of traveling on road.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So it looks like it's about 11 hexes. If we kind of follow the water, the river, maybe even do a little fishing and for food if we need to.
Well, is the river where the tainted water is coming from?
Oh, good point.
So yeah, this is the river where the tainted water is coming from. Now, the tainted water seems to be coming from the city. So if you're north of the city, that's fine, and that's where you guys have been getting your water right now. But it's been a strain on the colony to have to go 10 or 20 kilometers to collect water and bring it back. That's why you need the filtration. But once you're north of the city, the water, it is as clean as any other water source in Poland right now. Anyways.
Yeah. Do we have any equipment that we could use for fishing or anything like that?
I'm just gonna, you know what? I'll just say that there's some fishing poles in the back of the truck. You can also use your grenades to fish. That is an option as well.
Boom! But that might draw some attention.
They do, yeah. They do have the rules in the book though for if you want to go fishing and you want to use a grenade.
All right.
It is a quick and efficient way to do it. I will say that if you need food. But all right. So, anyways, June 1st. It is the morning shift. Oh, and just to mention too, lighting is very important in this game. So as it is the summer, Actually, it's not going to be as important during this. Morning, day, and evening shifts are all going to be brightly lit, and nighttime is considered dusk. It's not even considered like dark. So lighting conditions are pretty good. This is a double-edged sword, of course, but something to consider while you are traveling. And very, very few people in the world still have working night vision equipment. I mean, the United States and Soviet militaries, of course, had tons of it to begin with, but batteries run out, equipment breaks down, there's no way to replace it. So it's less common than it was at the beginning of the war. But
all right.
All right. So who is going to be driving the truck? I'm going to assume it's Bill, but
yeah, if that's all. What's your rank, Justin?
Corporal. It was my rank.
Well, yeah, I'm just a private, so unless you order otherwise, of course, I don't know if we're actually formally in the military anymore, so it may not matter. But
really matter.
That's something actually that varies from character to character. Some people still take the ranks seriously. Some people have sort of abandoned it. That's up to your character.
I think I'll probably still take it seriously, but I have been a driver for about 3 years, it looks like. So I'm happy to drive.
I'll leave it to you then.
All right.
All right. So you're going to travel. There's going to be a chance for an encounter every 2 hexes that you travel. So can you move the truck on your own, or do you need me to do that?
It doesn't look like I can. And actually, hang on a second. I hit the draw button real quick.
Yeah, I can move the truck on mine.
Oh yeah, I can too. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
This is actually world's kind of user friendly and intuitive. That's kind of nice. Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead and move the truck two hexes to your current destination.
Okay. So I would think following the river we'd go. This is 1, and that would be 2.
Yep, that's the route that I was thinking of as well.
All right. So we're going to call this. Looks like the majority of the hexes are open ground. That won't affect your driving speed. Won't affect your driving speed at all, which is good. All right, so.
Hey, did you mean to reveal it? Looks like there's maybe a truck a little further up north, or did I put that out by accident? Somehow?
Oh, you must have put that out there.
Okay, I don't know how to delete it. It's not letting me delete it for some reason.
Oh, there's a here. Let me do it. So to delete it, there's a button at the right side that you have to click delete. But
yeah, I tried that. It didn't work. Oh. I deleted the lines. I was kind of drawing on the map by accident too. Anyway,
that's okay.
Sorry, I have to kind of learn roll as I go along here. So
no worries. All right, so it's still the morning time, and keep in mind you're going to end up traveling a total of 5 hexes during the morning, but there's a chance for an encounter every 2. So. I'm going to have you go ahead, since you're the driver there, Bill, I'm going to have you keep track of the fuel for the truck. So go ahead and take off 8 points of fuel for 1/4 of off-road driving and the remaining fuel there. Like I said, this will be for the whole morning.
Let me, so the fuel cap is at 100 right now. Is that right?
Yep, that's your maximum capacity. And then,
what's it currently sitting at then?
So if you go up a little bit, you see remaining fuel in a red box there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Duh, it's huge. Yeah,
and the consumption is
100 fuel.
Yep. So you're going to use 8 for every hex that you've been traveling off-road. So you've done 2 hexes worth of off-road travel right now, so 16 fuel.
Yeah.
It goes fast. It goes fast. Yeah, it goes fast.
We're down to 84.
With the alcohol fuel. But anyways, okay, yes, encounter. So I'm going to I drew. So you use a deck of cards for encounter. Are jokers in here? They're not, so let me draw another card here. All right.
We should have just enough fuel to get it to the Jacobs settlement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's our contact's name there in... I can't pronounce that city, but his name was Jacob. Is that right?
Yeah, the guy that wanted the truck.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot to write down his name.
First, let me do a roll for the weather here. So, right now it's fair weather. All right. You guys could see my roll, right?
Yes.
All right, I rolled a 6. This means that the weather during the morning actually got worse. So it is cloudy now. That's all. Just cloudy. Not a big deal, so I'll make a note of that. And before we do the encounter, I almost forgot, there is a driving roll of some sort in here. Let me just find it real quick. Bear with me a second.
Sure, no problem.
My PDFs for some reason are acting wonky. Oh, actually, before I do that, here's a list of things you can do while you're traveling. Right now, you'll just be driving, but when you're done driving, if you want, there's options. Okay. Anyways, marching, driving. All right. Okay, so you're gonna make a driving check because open ground gives you a bonus of +1. So driving check with a +1 bonus. So just to reiterate, you've got a D10 agility and a D6 driving. The +1 will bring up your largest die, so you'll have a D12 and a D6. The way you'll need to roll that and roll is up at the upper right. You should see a list of dice. You'll click the D12 and the D6. And it's kind of cool because it'll show me you building your dice pool when you do that. And then there'll be a button to roll it, and we can all see it. There's no roll history like there is in Roll20, so don't roll a bunch of stuff rapidly, or we won't remember what the old rolls were.
Oh, okay. So I first roll agility, which is the D10.
Actually, so you're going to be, it's a D10 and D6, but you have a +1 bonus. So that D10 gets upgraded to a D12. So you're going to roll a D12 and a D6.
Okay. So a D12 and the D6. Oh, I messed something up because there's an extra die in there.
I think when you're building a dice pool, I don't know if there's is there a way to just get rid of it? I don't know.
I got rid of it, I think. So here we go. Let me roll now.
All right. It's funny. Your D12 failed you, but your D6 came up. So, all right. Oh, okay. I see. So it removes your die roll for everyone as soon as that window is closed. So like if I make a roll here,
I'll keep it up a little longer than next time.
Okay, I'm still figuring out how this works anyways. But whatever, you succeeded.
Okay.
Had you failed, it doesn't mean that you fail in travel. There's just a chance you run into some sort of a random driving hazard.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, I made an encounter card. All right, this encounter is good for on-road, off-road, day or night. It can happen any time. Let me just... All right. As you guys are traveling in the hex that you're in right now, you notice in the distance a very small village. Literally just 8 houses. Looks like it was an old rural farmland, although the farms are all dead now. But the small cluster of houses, you realize as you get closer, they are surrounded by a bunch of barbed wire and sandbags. In the distance, you can see some people walking around as if on patrol. Looks like maybe 4 guards walking around. You can't see how many total inhabitants there are. They don't appear to be U.S. or Soviet. They just look like civilians. They're carrying AKs. You can see one of them clearly has an RPG slung across his back. They see your well, they'll probably hear your truck before you can see them. They're not aggressive in any way. They just sort of but you can see they're watching you closely. It's up to you. You can give them a wide berth, or you could attempt to go up and contact them.
Well, Corporal, your suggestion, I would recommend maybe a wide berth that looks less aggressive.
Yeah, they've got nothing to do with our mission, and we're not in any critical need for any supplies or anything like that.
All right.
Very good.
Yeah, if you
I'll
give
even
them,
turn on the blinker if this car has one, just sort of show them we're taking a wide berth, not trying to in any way cause any issues.
yeah, if you keep your distance, they don't harass you in any way, and first encounter survive. And that's going to be a lot of the encounters in this game are like that. They're just other groups of people, but it could have been like if you guys were like low on food or low on fuel or something, then maybe there's a situation where you would have had to go and try to trade with them.
Right.
But anyways, go ahead and move yourself the next two hexes.
I think we'd go here, and then probably the straight line's a better way to go. We want to stay closer to the river.
I think keeping the terrain in mind, like if the majority of the hex is beige,
Yeah.
if you want to see those, it's easiest to drive through.
Okay, so this is probably, well, they're about the same. We'll just go this way.
So you won't have to make another driving roll this shift if I'm doing it correctly.
Okay.
What I should have done is looked at your full course that you were traveling beforehand to figure out the difficulty, but that's okay.
All right, that puts us down to 78 fuel. So we're at 3/4 of a tank, sir. Just letting you know. All right, just carry on then with driving.
All right. So yeah, you don't need to make another drive roll. So that was another 2 hexes. I'm going to see if there is a
That's right.
another encounter.
Okay.
5 of diamonds cannot occur off road, so you guys are good. All right, so you're gonna move 1 more hex to end the first quarter of the day.
All right, we'll go there. That'll take us down to, that's only 1 hex, that's 8 fuel, so we're down to 70.
Okay, and I won't worry about an encounter for the 1 hex. The rules right now say you're supposed to have an encounter each and every hex, which is a little much to me. So I'm doing it every other hex.
Okay.
But anyways, okay. So the morning shift of the day is over now. You'll have to decide what you want to do for the second shift. There's no harm in just saying like, hey, we want to keep on driving. If you push yourself to drive or march for 3 straight shifts, there's a chance of fatigue harming you. But you need to sleep at least once a day. Although theoretically that'll be at night. I will tell you too, if you guys were thinking of hunting or foraging for food, you can't do that if you travel for all right, if you travel for 2 quarters of the day and then you spend the 3rd day hunting, you won't have time to cook the food. It might give you food poisoning. Something to think about. But I'm not saying you need to stop and get food or anything. Just something to think about. So what do you want to do for the second quarter?
Well, up to you, sir. We can get out.
Getting food and not bringing through our supplies, our emergency supplies, is probably the best option for us. We're not in a super critical situation where we need to get there super fast, and the town's going to survive. Trekking the 10Ks to get the water on their own.
I agree. I could use with stretching my legs a bit. So I guess we'll park and get out and do some. See that? Let me pull up that sheet you had. I guess there's foraging. We could look for some berries and I don't know, stuff to eat or hunt.
Yeah, hunting is more difficult, but it'll give you a larger yield of food. Yeah, then there's foraging. You could also go scrounging, whereas you're just looking for scrap in the wasteland. That's not food related, but you could find some treasures that way. Yeah, all viable options. Let me look at your characters to tell you how good hunting is. Hunting will use survival, recon, and ranged combat. So if the 2 of you have any combination of that, that is good. Survival is used for like scavenging and stuff like that.
Yeah, my survival is off the charts terrible.
I'm pretty good at survival and recon. And marksmanship. Did you share that document with the actions that we could do, Steve?
I put it in Discord.
Discord. Okay. I'm looking for The last thing I see in Discord is the Google Docs. I don't see the
the in-game. Look at the in-game text channel. I put it in there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a picture.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Well, I didn't follow closely enough to the river, so we can't fish here.
Hunting should be all right.
So yeah, you guys can decide. You can hunt together as a team. You can. You might not. I think. Let me check here real quick. All right, traveling. Let me look up hunting in here real quick.
Actually, maybe for flavor, it looks like I've been a mechanic too for 6 years. So, once we get this thing stopped, I'll sort of pop the hood, make sure everything looks like it's normal, nothing's malfunctioning, that sort of thing.
Yeah, if you want to, you'll see on your sheet the next maintenance must be performed by June 7th, or the condition of the truck goes down. So you could do that now, and this week's maintenance would be covered. That would take you a quarter of work.
So if you want to do that while I hunt, we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
That'll work. That'll work for me. Sure. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do the maintenance on this thing.
All right. And just general maintenance does not require any spare parts. So go ahead and you're gonna do a tech roll to work on the truck.
Okay, so it's under my intelligence. So I would first roll intelligence, right? So I add the D8. All right, and then tech. Sorry, just trying to find this thing.
No worries.
Oh, there it is. Duh, right there. All right. And we're rolling. I think that's good, isn't it?
Yep.
It's above 5,
Is,
or 6 above, yeah.
That is good. So the next maintenance, the next time the truck needs a maintenance roll is between the 8th and the 14th. But it's good for now. Its condition will not deteriorate. In the meantime, looks like Justin is going hunting. All right, so here is the way hunting works. I don't think there might be is there a penalty for hunting in open terrain? There's a bonus for actually you're in majority wooded terrain now, right? No, you're past that. You're in majority open. Okay. So hunting in nice open terrain like this is a +1 bonus. Is it a +1 bonus to... It's going to be a +1 bonus to survival is what it's going to be. Okay. All right, so what you're going to do while you're out hunting is first see if in that quarter day you are able to locate any animals. So you're going to make a survival check. All right, you have 1 success. The way hunting works in this game, each time you succeed, you have 2 potential animals you could track. So go ahead and roll 2d6, and you'll get 2 options of animals you can go after. Okay. A 1 is a grouse. You need a shotgun to hunt that, so that's a no. You find a rabbit. That is your best option. So here's what you're going to do. To stalk the rabbit, you choose the range that you want to get to the rabbit in tens of meters. You'll notice what your weapon's close range is if you want the best possible shot. That will determine if you can get up to the thing without it running away. Let me just check on something real quick here. There's a range table I should have had handy, but I don't.
I feel like Mark's played on here before. He had those dice up quick and rolling.
Well, when we were making the character.
Okay.
Okay. So you're going to choose the number of hexes away. Each hex is 10 meters. If you want to get in the same hex with it, that's a -2. That's a -2 recon roll. If you want to get 1 hex away, -1. Up to 5 hexes is no modifier.
Up to 20 hexes is a +1 bonus, 6 to 20, and 21 or more hexes is a +2 bonus.
And my range is the range listed on here is number of hexes, right?
Yep.
Or is that okay?
Number of hexes.
I will go 5 hexes away, so no bonus or penalty.
All right, so you're gonna make a recon check. Let me just check something out here real quick. Hold on. Whoops, I clicked a button I didn't mean to click. Yeah, okay, you're good. Yeah, go ahead and make your recon check. All right, you have successfully snuck up on the rabbit. Here's why hunting is brutal in this: is because it requires 3 successful skill checks. Okay, you've tracked the rabbit. You have snuck up on the rabbit within 50 meters. You are now going to have to kill the rabbit. I know it seems like taking a single shot at the rabbit would be the thing to do, but the way this system works, it's going to assume that your first shot might miss and you might do follow-up shots. So, or you could go buck wild and just go full auto on it. There's nothing that stops that.
How much rabbit would be left? That's the question.
I say there's no penalty for shooting the shit out of it. But what you're going to do is you're going to choose a rate of fire up to the maximum rate of your weapon. Each rate of fire is a d6 bullets that are going to be expended during this action.
All right. I'll do rate of fire 2.
Okay. So, yeah. There's no, since you're at close range with the weapon, there's no bonuses, no penalties. So you're going to do your ranged attack skill roll, and you're going to add 2d6 to the roll. If you score any kind of hit, the rabbit will die because it only has one health.
All right.
There's a hit.
Okay. You fired 4 bullets and killed 1 rabbit. You have 2 units of raw meat now.
All right. I will bring them back.
Okay. And that is the afternoon shift consumed. For the third quarter of the day, if you're considering cooking up this food now, you will need to make camp. Making camp represents finding a nice place where you and your truck will be hidden and safe from prying eyes and the weather. My PDFs are just really failing me right now.
Well, no, we don't think we're going to make it to Jacob's camp today. We're going to have to camp out here at night anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Today.
Well, maybe, I mean, totally up to you, but maybe we could, you could field dress it for now, drive another quarter of the day, or a third of the day, I guess it is, and then we can make camp and cook it.
So
for another quarter, yeah, we won't be able to cook it as well.
Making camp in the system uses an entire quarter day. So if you travel another quarter, yeah, you won't be able to make camp. But you can cook food. One person can cook food while the others doing the make camp roll. That is allowed. Making camp and cooking the food, they both use survival. I will go ahead and tell you the one with the worst survival probably wants to be the cook, but in terms of consequences for failing the roll.
Right. Well, I've got the worst survival, I'm sure, with a big fat 0. So.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll have Justin roll survival to make camp, and we'll have Bill roll survival to cook up the food.
Survival.
So, if I have nothing in it, what do I roll? I just roll the attribute intelligence?
Yep.
Okay.
Camp is made.
Hey.
All right. So this means that not only have you found a good place to camp, there won't be any hazards from that. The food, there's no chance of getting food poisoning from it. If you had failed, you'd probably be okay, but there's a slight chance of foodborne illness.
Okay.
It's all right. You've got 2 units of. It gets converted to domestic food, and we don't need to record that though because you're going to end up eating it. So that was the third quarter of the day spent. You made camp. You cooked some food. For the fourth quarter, if you guys want, you can sleep. You will need to consume 2 units of food. If you want to eat that rabbit you just shot, that's probably the way to go. And when I say 2, I mean 1 unit of food each is what I meant to say. You'll consume 1 unit of food each. You'll need to consume 1 unit of water each as well.
Right.
All right.
And keep in mind, you have plenty of water on the truck if you want to go through that supply first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely drink that. 'Cause I got 3 on me, but yeah, we'll drink from the truck, I guess. There's 6 on the truck, so I'll mark it down to 4.
Sounds good to me.
Is it okay to mark that on the Google sheet?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'll go ahead and do our remaining fuel on the Google sheet too. I think we're currently at 70. Okay, I'll maintain that there. All right. Yeah, it's a good looking rabbit.
You guys get a good night's sleep. I should one thing I forgot. I'm supposed to roll for weather changes every quarter day, and I forgot that. But we'll just because in Forbidden Lands you only roll once per day, and that throws me off. But anyways, we'll roll for the morning quarter. The weather is still cloudy out. But yeah, it's a brand new day. It's the 2nd of June now. You can resume as normal. What I'll have you do this time, if you're driving, rather than moving the truck, use the draw tool and draw me the 5 hexes that you ultimately want to go through.
Okay. Then from here we would go, I think 1. Is that big black area? Whoops, up there. Is that a town?
That is a major city.
Yeah, we want to avoid that.
At the crossroads there, yeah.
And so then we'll go to here. This would be, so that's 1, 2, that's 3, 4, and 5. Whoops. I didn't actually mean to drive up that close to the road, but I'm terrible at drawing with a mouse. So
that's okay. It doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter exactly where it is. If you're in a hex with a road, you simply declare that you're driving off road, and we assume you're staying far away from it. Okay. So what I'll do is for the morning shift, you are driving. I'm going to have you make your driving check now. It seems like the most difficult terrain along your journey is going to be a spot of forest there, which the forest will. So the forest will actually count as 2 hexes rather than 1. So you'll end up 1 hex short of your goal, but it allows you to avoid the city that way. So
yeah,
that's fine. Okay, you're gonna make a driving check, but this time a -1 penalty. And keep in mind the -1, the die that gets degraded is your smallest size die. If they're the same, then either die.
Okay. All right. So instead it'll be a D6 and a D8.
Yep.
Okay. Well, all right.
So here's your thing. You can accept that failure. The consequences may or may not be that big a deal. Or you can choose to push yourself. If you choose to push yourself on anything you're actively doing, you have to describe some risky or dangerous thing you are doing while you are driving to get to your destination faster or better. And if you do, you get to re-roll your failed dice. If you fail again, you'll take a point of stress. It's up to you, though. You don't have to push.
So what's the what happens if I fail here?
If you fail here, there's a table of driving hazards that go anywhere from a wrong turn that slows you down all the way to blowing your engine. It goes from very minor to very severe, and it's totally random.
All right. So I'm going to push this, and we've come to a place where we probably need to go out of our way a bit because it's a pretty deep, steep ditch. But there's an area. It looks like if I kind of speed up a little bit, I can, kind of get across it without us having to go 2 or 3 miles out of the way. Is that a good enough description of?
No, that sounds good to me.
Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Oh no. Okay, so I get a stress now. Is that right?
Well, you succeeded, right? You rolled an 8 on one of your dice.
Yes. Oh, okay. All right.
No
I had a
stress,
7
no
the last
penalty.
time, didn't I?
It's just a success. Did you have a 7 last time? I thought you failed. My bad. I might have misread it.
I had a 7 and a 2.
Oh, in that case, never mind. I screwed up. I
I
misread.
thought maybe I forgot the rules. I'm like, I thought
No.
that at least there's a basic success here.
I just
Okay.
misread your roll. Well, whatever. What a great demonstration of pushing a roll.
Is that right, Mark? Was it a 7 and 2? Do you recall?
I honestly don't recall. That's why not having a roll history is.
No, that's fine. I'm sure you are right
Well-
because I don't.
Okay, well, I don't mind and for the sake of learning the rules, if you want me to go ahead and keep it the way it is now and do the stress thing, I'm okay with that.
Well, you know what?
It's up to
It would be
you.
it would be the same result because you don't get a stress if you succeed on the push. So
Oh, okay. All
one
right, so
way or
it doesn't
another,
matter.
same result.
All right.
But no,
Okay.
you might be right. I think I did. I think in my brain I was looking for the maximum result on the die because that's normally how Free League works.
Yeah.
But no,
I think it was a 7 and a 2. I think is what I rolled because I was thinking here, I didn't roll much better. So,
if I make that mistake in the future and you want to keep an eye on that, 6 or better is a success
Okay.
in case I do
All
that
right.
again. All right. In any event, yeah, you'll travel. So for your first leg of the journey, I'm going to go ahead and make another encounter here. Let's just look that up.
come here for a minute. All right.
All right. As you are driving, this is going to have me roll some dice. Hey. You see yet another small settlement, not unlike the one you had traveled by before. This one, there's 11 houses in total. One of them, you can see smoke coming through a chimney. This looks like just a very old, tiny village, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It looks like there's some activity inside. You see 2 people standing on the roof of one building that are clearly on guard duty of some sort. They're armed. They look like they're armed with shotguns, not military, like civilian shotguns, and they're just wearing like flannel and jeans. And yeah, there's a number of civilians on the inside, just sort of hanging out. It looks like a little community. Same thing as before. You're welcome to drive in and say hi, or you can give them the wide berth. Completely up to you.
I'll just sort of look over to the corporal. Same thing, go around him.
Yep, same thing. Go around. Nothing has changed.
All right.
All right. I'll even, again, turn the blinker on, that sort of thing. I don't know if this vehicle has that, because military stuff probably doesn't.
This
Anyway.
is a civilian pickup truck, so yeah, I'm sure you have time.
Oh, okay. Well, so they know that I'm going around. I'm trying not to,
Yeah.
I'm trying to
This
appear
is-
the least aggressive or whatever as I can.
Yeah, this is just like a technical with a machine gun in the back of it.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
But
all
all
right.
right.
It's basically a little Toyota.
Yep.
All right, gotcha.
All right, so you'll make it another 2 more quarters because you went through the forest. That's the furthest you'll get this quarter. But I'm going to go ahead and check to see if there is another off-road encounter. Generally, too, the off-road encounters, as I mentioned before, are much more mild. They're also less frequent than on-road encounters. All right, where the heck are spades? Spades. Ah, here we go. This is an area that's heavily mined, but this is not applicable off-road, so that means you have no encounter.
Ooh.
That's an example. Like if you're on road, you could run into like roadside bombs and mines and stuff like that.
Oh wow!
It's kind of cool
Okay.
when you draw an encounter. You look up the encounter, and it'll say day or night, off road or on road, and if it doesn't meet the criteria, there's just no encounter. So I like the way they do that. Also,
Okay.
there's 52 separate encounters in the book too, which is pretty awesome.
That is pretty
Yes, you should get a good variety that way.
Yeah. But all right, yeah. First quarter of the day is down. So it's up to you guys now. You could push through, make it into the town, or you could stop again like you did the day before. It's up to you.
I think we just push on through.
Yeah,
we got
there.
good time.
Yeah, I'm sure
All
they
right.
have that we can crash for the night too.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Whoops.
Is that another driving roll or no?
Yeah. So it'll be another driving roll. Let me this time I'm going to remember to roll for the weather. The weather
Okay.
remains cloudy. Driving becomes a pain in the ass if it starts raining, which I guess is fair.
Yeah.
All right, so you're gonna go 2 quarters of travel. Oh, sorry, I was moving it, but you can move it on there. That's fine. All right.
I mean, just straight route. I'm thinking there's only 2 hexes left, so we'll just
Yeah.
drive straight through the. Whoops. Now I'm drawing on the map again. Sorry.
Here, let me just throw you in there. All right. Yeah, it looks like you can avoid the forested areas, which is good because that makes it harder to drive. So, yeah, just open terrain. I believe a +1 bonus for
Okay.
for driving
All right, so
across
then-
open terrain.
D12 and a D6. 1 success.
All right, yeah, you guys are fine. You roll into the city. The city, like most of the large cities, is pretty badly has been pretty badly devastated by the war. Parts of it are collapsed. You know that it's going to be a dangerous area. Luckily, Jacob, as it's been described to you, he is in a there's a small cluster of warehouses where him and his associates have sort of taken up camp. It means you can avoid having to go through the city to look for them. It's just a little industrial district and 2 or 3 warehouses with a big chain link fence with barbed wire over the top. No real sign of what used to be manufactured there, but when you come up, the area is pretty heavily guarded. You see a dozen guys walking around with long arms. They again they look like civilians primarily, but they're fairly mean looking, and they're not incredibly suspicious as you drive up. I mean, this is an area that gets a lot of traffic, but yeah, they definitely keep a close eye on you, especially with the giant KPV machine gun mounted in the back.
All right.
All right, yeah, and you drive up to a there's a little gate. Do either of you speak Polish?
I do not. I speak Russian and English.
Russian will work. All right. Well, the guy
I don't see
will.
languages on here.
They don't really have good roles for languages. Generally, you speak English, and then there's a specialty that can cause you to speak another language. Or if you're Polish, you speak English and Polish.
Okay.
But anyways, so he'll call out initially in Polish, but if you respond in Russian, he'll switch to Russian. Yeah, he just asks who you are and what business do you have here.
There was an agreement. We're from the settlement down south. There was an agreement that we were to deliver this truck and machine gun to Jacob, and Jacob was going to give us a water filtration system.
He just nods. You can see by his facial expression, he already knew who you were. They open the gate. They wave you towards the far hangar. They say, "Drive on in. Jacob's in there right now."
All right. Thank you much.
All right, and as you pull in, you can see a couple more guards inside. You can see Jacob. you know his face because he's been in your settlement before, so you know what he looks like. Whereas everyone else are wearing like flannel or even military fatigues, Jacob is wearing a pair of sunglasses. He has a Dallas Cowboys jersey from a Super Bowl jersey from a year that they actually lost the Super Bowl. Yeah, he's wearing some cargo shorts and flip-flops. But yeah, he turns around and in English, he says, the truck, and he claps his hands together and walks up to both of you. He'll give you each a very hearty handshake as you arrive. He says, "How was the trip?"
Uneventful. Yeah, I'll let you take the lead. I'm sorry.
He starts taking a look around the truck and he says, "My goodness, the damn thing looks brand new." Kicks the tires and all that.
Did the maintenance myself.
He nods. He says, all right, looks good. Within the week, I can have the agreed upon supplies shipped back south for you. The water filtration system, hell, we'll probably just use this truck.
Works for us. Well, we made this long trip down here today. I don't reckon we're going to be heading out tonight. You guys got an extra bunk that we can hunker down in for the evening?
Make a persuasion check with a +2 bonus.
All right. Persuasion is not a very strong skill of mine.
I got double odds in that one, so if it's better for you. I'm not very persuasive at all.
So keep in mind the +2 bonus will be your largest die.
Hey!
All right.
Says, of course, we have food and beer as well. You may have your fill while you stay here.
Appreciated.
Very much so.
All right, yeah, they clear out a couple of bunks for you, and that evening, yeah, all the guards get together for a meal. There's a large amount of food. There is some recently brewed beer, and lots of clean water as well.
So while we're there, I want to ask them about any news, any local events. Have you guys heard of anything from the settlement of? Yeah, I'm gonna butcher the name. Ravamazo, whatever. The other one that we're trying to go to.
Ravamazovietska.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you when you say that, one of the guards gives you kind of a concerned look, and he goes, "What are you heading there for?"
We're dropping this truck off. We're looking for a man that's in there. We've got questions we want to ask him.
Well, there was this American officer up there that visited us a few days ago. We were going to arrange a couple of a trade route between us. They've set up some manufacturing of munitions. We were going to trade them food and water. We sent a couple people out there just a day or two ago, and we never got to talk to them. A group of Soviets had moved into the area. We saw a BTR, armored personnel carrier, some Soviet soldiers. We can't really tell you what's going on in the town. As soon as we saw them, we decided to turn around, come back the next day. But watch out if you're going up there. I don't know if they were just passing through or if they decided to stay, but there's a lot of guys. The APC, maybe 50, 60 soldiers in total.
We will definitely keep our eyes open, yeah. if we can't get close, we can't get close. But I think we should still check it out.
Works for me.
In fact, when you mention that, yeah, they'll mention to Jacob that you're heading up there, and he says, "Hey, since you're going up there anyways, let me make a little deal with you. On your way back, stop here again. Just let us know what's going on with the Soviets, if they've moved along or not. If the American officer Cruz, if he's still there and willing to trade, we'd like to know. I'd be happy to let you stay here again. All the food and water you can carry, if you want to make a stop back here on your way back. In fact, you can come back here, stay a couple days on the house. We'll drive you back in the truck when we ship the stuff south. What do you say?"
Yeah, I just sort of look over at the corporal like, "Ooh, that sounds good to me."
Yeah.
Not have no.
Says great, yeah. I really hope I see you soon, but just be careful. The Soviets, if they realize that you're Americans, it's not going to go particularly well for you. But here, and he rushes off to a nearby table and he comes back with a pair of binoculars. He goes, "It's not much, but here, take these. My gift to you." He hands you guys a pair of binoculars.
Appreciate it.
So these binoculars, they have a weight of 1/2, and when you are actively scouting or observing, it's a +2 bonus.
That's nice.
Binoculars are a pretty badass item in this game, which I guess is fair compared to not having them. All right. Also, before you guys go the next morning, Jacob lets you know the only thing you guys actually made a deal to transport was the truck and the gun. So anything in the back of the pickup that you want to try and take with you on your journey, you're welcome to. Alternatively, since you're coming back anyways, he says, if you're coming back anyways, I can leave it in the truck and drive it back with you guys. It's up to you.
Sure. I'm wondering though if we want to get a backpack, maybe. See, we got the there's extra ammo in there.
Yeah, couldn't hurt bringing the extra ammo. What else is in there that we might want?
There's also there's a few RPG rockets. I've got 6 on me, but there's 3 more in the truck. It looks like.
Yeah, they're heavy. They weigh 1 each, but yeah.
Yeah.
So the backpack thing works again. Is that it lets us carry 10 weight? Is that right? But makes our agility very low.
It's -2 mobility to all your mobility rolls, but it's 10 extra. And actually, on Bill Miller, because he has the load carrier, his backpack could carry 14 worth of stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, let me just go ahead and list this down. So I'm going to go ahead and take on a backpack. And in it, let's see.
Water could be good. I don't know how long it'll take us to hoof our way up there, but we're going to definitely want to take it carefully.
Okay, yep. So water, there's 4 units, so we'll take off 4 water. And that will be, that's 2 weight. So I got 8 more weight to put in here.
Yeah, might as well take the food, which will be 2 units, 1 weight.
All right, so food, that's 2 at 1 weight. All right, so we got 7 weight left. Let's see, the RPG 7s. There are how many of these? There are 3 of these. Ooh, and they weigh 3, so they're kind of heavy. They're 1 each. I've already got 6 on me. Do you think we need more, or is 6 enough?
6 is probably enough, but if we have the room in the backpack.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's anything else. Because a box of 25 rounds of 5.56, about 45.
Yeah, I'll take a backpack as well because who knows what kind of loot we might come across, especially if uh, there's been fighting between the Soviets and the Americans.
Yep. Okay. I'll take the box of the. My weapon carries the. I think my weapon has the 5.56.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you're using M16.
He's using an M240, but they both use 5.56 NATO.
Yeah. So I'll take that box.
So the M249 has is belt fed, although it can also accept M16 magazines if need be.
Okay. Oh, there's also a box of 25 rounds of the same stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
I took. We used to have 2 boxes of the 25 rounds, but I used 4 rounds getting the rabbit, so I just replenished.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Well, so why don't you take the box of 21 rounds? I'll take the box of 25.
That works.
And see, that's 0.25 in weight. All right.
Yeah, 25 loose rounds is 2.25 weight. Yeah.
So that's 5. See, I got 6. I got 6.25 weight right now in the backpack, and that would leave some room for other stuff that we find. If that sounds good. We don't need vehicle parts. We don't need general spare parts, I don't guess. I guess we could take the basic tools. Wow, they weigh a lot, though. I'm not taking the tools. Well, might be nice to have the tools.
Yeah, the tools weigh a lot. Basically, with the tools, if you're doing any kind of weapon maintenance, or you take apart a vehicle, or sometimes scavenging, you'll get a penalty if you don't have the basic tools.
Yeah, for one way, we can throw that in my backpack. It doesn't matter.
Actually, thinking about being a mechanic for 6 years, I probably don't want to go anywhere without my tools. So I'll put the basic tools in mine, I guess. I probably wouldn't have even thought about it. I would just grab them and throw them in.
All right. While you guys work that out, I'm going to be right back.
All right. Okay, so I'm carrying water, food, the rockets, and the box of 25 rounds of the 5.56, and the basic tools. So that's 7.25 total. I'll just write that out in here so I remember. All right. Y'all can see me because I can't see me, but okay.
Well, I could see you for a second, and then it went away again.
Yeah, there's a delay on starting it, so click it and then just sit for,
Okay.
a second. Minute.
All right. I've clicked it. Now let me leave it alone.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to make a decaf, which is really quick. Then I decided to make a tea, so that took a little longer.
That's okay. You got to do what you got to do.
Wow, it's just not popping back up.
Oh, you're good.
I am good?
I can see
You are
it.
good.
Oh, wow, I don't see me. Okay, fine. As long as y'all can, I'm good with that. On my screen, I just have my the token symbol, whatever.
All right. I've lost the power to minimize my map. Oh, I made it go away. Oh, whatever. All right. So yeah, did you guys figure out the equipment you want to take with you?
Yes, we did. We have moved it onto our character sheets.
All right. So the morning of the 3rd. Hey, the camera just went away again. There we go. Put the map back up. Okay. Yeah, that morning, I'm gonna say that the weather in the previous day will have returned to clear skies. So it is going to be clear weather on the morning of the 3rd. You guys being on foot now have the same choice to make, on road or off road. Just like before, on road is typically faster than off-road.
Well, potential enemies in the area, I think going off-road is the safest way to travel.
All right. So because you have to travel through forest, normally walking you would move two hexes per quarter. Because you're traveling through forest, your first quarter you're only going to move a single hex. So I guess the question is, do you guys want to head north, or are you going to hug the river and go that way instead?
We'll hug the river for this one, and then turn north after getting one more hex to the west or to the east.
Okay. Oh, we lost. We've temporarily lost Billy, so he can't see or hear us now. So. Oh wait, are you back? All right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Wow,
Wow.
I can't hear him.
I assumed you were just being quiet, so.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you more.
All right.
I think you don't hear me.
I can hear you, Mark. He said
Okay.
he said he could hear you.
Weird. I'm gonna refresh. I still see his token symbol.
We were doing so good in the technical aspect. What happened?
So let's hope this doesn't break things. I'll be right back.
Okay. I do appreciate the audio has been really good compared to when I've tried to use Roll20 audio in the past.
Yeah, the audio seems great.
Roll20's always been a little bit wonky for me.
What I've always done in Roll20, just the way it's always worked out. I'm assuming.
Yes, but I don't see the map anymore.
All right, but you can see and hear us?
Yeah, I see and hear both.
All right, can you see the map now?
Yep.
All right, I just had to click show party again. All right, so Mark, which hex were you talking about traveling towards?
I will draw a little line going there and then up.
Okay. So for the morning shift, I'm gonna keep using the truck, even though you don't have the truck anymore. Actually, no, I take that back. I'm gonna use. Oh, I imported a token. Here we go. I'm gonna use Bill's token to represent the party walking on foot. All right. So going through forest, you'll only be able to move one hex on the first day of travel, or on the first quarter of travel, I should say. Now, as I said, weather's good. Good lighting. Heading through forest. While you are marching, you will choose one person to lead the way and another person to act as a scout for the group. I know that your character's particular skill set means this is kind of a tough decision as to who's going to do what.
So what's more important to you, not getting lost or hitting the enemy before they see us?
It's more important to see the enemy before they see us than
I will
getting
be
lost.
scouting then, and I will let you lead the way.
Okay. So this is a mobility roll?
So, if I'm not, let me just double check here.
recon. Survival.
Well, recon will be for the person keeping watch, but we don't necessarily have to worry about that. Let's see here.
Well, I have a C in. I would roll 2d8s if it's recon.
Recon is keeping watch. It's going to be survival, I think, for
Okay.
for
I have a
marching.
0
Let me
in
just
survival.
check here real quick.
All right. Then, if you're okay doing the recon, I'll give you the binoculars. That'll give you bump one of those up to a D12.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever works better for both of us.
Yeah.
Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure it's survival, but
Yeah, I can do either. I'm better at recon than survival, but if you are proficient in recon.
Okay, yeah. So first we'll do survival for whoever is leading the way, and then depending on what the encounter is, we'll see if the person doing the recon will.
All right, survival roll. Japan.
All right, so you move no problem. Let me. I'll do an encounter, and we'll see what happens. All right. Whew. This is a really bad encounter that can't happen off-road, so you are totally fine. All right. No encounter. All right. So for the first quarter day, you have traveled there. Let me see what the weather is doing for you. The weather is still clear skies. All right. First quarter day down. If you want to continue marching on the second quarter, you will move 2 hexes, assuming nothing goes wrong, and that would bring you to your destination. Is that what you'd like to do, or do you want to stop to do other activities while you're in the forest?
I think getting to our destination is the way to do it. We got to eat these rations before they spoil anyway, so there's no point in hunting.
In hunting? Okay.
Yep, I agree.
So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and scoot you up 2 hexes on the map. So we're going to have another like lead the way check, survival.
Huzzah.
All right, and we're going to see if there is an encounter on your way there.
Oh, should I be modifying the survival based on the terrain, like forest or open ground?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, sorry, I kind of forgot about that. Let me see.
If it improves, don't worry about it. But if it degrades, I will.
Okay, no. So when you're marching on foot, it doesn't adjust the difficulty. It can adjust the speed that you're moving.
Gotcha.
If you were driving, then the terrain matters a lot. But yeah, so basically, when you went through the woods, that was 1/2 speed, or it cost you an extra hex, and then the next 2 are open. So you are fine. You do indeed have an encounter while you are marching. Out in the middle of nowhere, there is like a large city bus. It's nowhere near a main road or a highway. It looks like someone at some point attempted to take it off-roading, unsuccessfully. The bus is completely burnt out. It's beyond repair. Like I said, it looks like a huge fire burnt through the whole thing. You don't see any evidence of bodies or anything like that. It's up to you guys if you want to. You could spend this would move you here if you wanted to. You could spend a shift searching the bus and the area around it. Like I said, it would slow you down. You'd have to spend another shift getting into town. Alternatively, you could just ignore it and keep moving on. It's up to you.
You want me to roll recon to see what we can see with binoculars, or is all we're going to see what you just described?
There's no need for recon at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we want to stay hidden as much as possible. Let's try to move on without bringing any extra attention to ourselves until we figure out what the situation is in the settlement up there.
All right, so continue on to the city then. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep.
All
Yes.
right. No worries. All right. Approaching the city, go ahead and whoever wants to can make a recon check with a +2 bonus because you do have binoculars.
All right. Uh-oh. I'm going to go ahead and push it.
All right.
There we go. Got one.
Barely.
Yeah.
A successful,
Just barely.
successful push. All right. Yeah, you don't see any sign of Soviets. Granted, it is an entire city, but definitely a group of 60 troops. You don't see anywhere. You don't see any armored personnel carriers. kind of looks like business as usual. There's a handful of citizens here and there, and you can see a few buildings that have been fortified.
All right. If we don't see any signs of the Soviets, I say we go up there and start asking some questions.
All right. Yeah, looking for Captain Cruz. You guys have a general idea of where he is supposed to be in the city? I will let you guys. I'll give you a choice. You can split up to look for him, in which case you'll each get to make separate rolls, or you can stay together and look for him, and you'll make a single roll with a +1 bonus. You can either use persuasion to ask around the civilians that you run into, or you can use recon just to scout out and see if you can find the building that was described to you.
Well, I'm not persuading anybody of anything.
Yeah, I think recon will be the way to go.
All right.
I'll handle this, because even without binoculars I have.
Okay.
I'm assuming binoculars won't really help with us.
Yeah, the binoculars won't matter in this situation, but I'll give you a +1 bonus because you've got a friend helping you look.
Hey, alright, that will bring you to 2d12 anyway.
Oh, wow, cool.
I'm good at recon.
It's actually 2 successes because you hit a 10. This means, you will find. Hell, you'll almost walk straight to the place from the memory of the way it was described to you. But it is an old. It's an old Catholic church that Captain Cruz has turned into his little headquarters. Specifically, the command room is in an old Sunday school area of the church. When you go in, you can see a handful of people that are clearly U.S. military. By the way they are dressed, 4 of them and a handful of civilians. They're all pretty well armed. They definitely eye you suspiciously with your heavy armaments as you walk up to them. In fact,
I'll kind of have my hands up a little bit, try not to be palms out, not trying to start anything. You said these are U.S. It's U.S. camp then.
5 of them. Yeah, 5 of them definitely. They're still wearing remnants of their uniforms. One of them will even shout out, "Who are you? What do you want?"
Does he have a thick Russian accent?
He has he's a Midwestern accent.
Okay. Yeah. They're not just wearing U.S. Gear then.
All right. I am Corporal Senegal, U.S. Air Force, and we are here scouting the town. We heard you had trouble with some Ruskies not too long ago.
Yeah, you missed them by a couple of days. They passed on through here. They only stayed for a day. They recruited some of the local civilian population, offered them payment in exchange for joining up, tried to create a small militia. They left after a day. There's still a small contingent of them that they left behind. The armored personnel carrier they were traveling with, they left that behind, and a handful of the civilians they recruited as guards. The only Russians still left are the ones manning the APC.
Huh. Seems, do you know what they're about? It seems strange for them to leave the APC behind.
Because we didn't know at first, but we figured it out. 2 of our guys went up to check out the little outpost they had made. They turned an old parking garage into a command center. Unfortunately, our 2 guys got captured. It wasn't long after that. We overheard a radio transmission calling the main force. They came here specifically looking for one of our guys, Captain Cruz. He's one of the people that got captured. We know that the main force is probably coming back for him, but there's not much we'll be able to do about it.
Incidentally, we're looking for Captain Cruz ourselves, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with Jacob from the settlement to the south of here, but he also was looking for Captain Cruz.
He nods. He said, yeah, we were working out a trade deal with Jacob.
So, any plans in place for a rescue op?
To be honest, we're not really in any condition. Our ammunition supplies are mostly gone. The handful of us, we just hid when the Russians got here. We talked about trying to rescue the captain, but yeah, it would be difficult. See, there's the outpost is 2 locations. There's the parking garage, and about 2 blocks away, there's this old hotel. They've got a few people in there. Maybe one at a time we could do just fine, but a firefight at one is going to draw attention from the other. We don't think we could handle both groups.
And, how was the ammo situation? Not looking well. According to Jacob, the deal that they were working out with you was trading food and water for ammunition. He said you guys got a little bit of a manufacturing operation set up over here.
We do, and we had a stockpile. The Russians found it.
Great.
We hid away, but yeah, they took all the ammunition we'd manufactured. A lot of our supplies are gone too. We just couldn't do anything about it. We've got enough left for a firefight or two, but not much more.
The hotel and the parking garage. Which one of these locations do you think is holding Captain Cruz?
Oh, it's the parking garage. We know this from the radio transmission the Russians sent out.
Any chance that radio transmission was faked?
Shrugs. Says, I don't know if they would be trying to deceive anybody. The main force left, and the transmission suggested that they had come here looking for Captain Cruz specifically. They basically said something to the effect of, "We found the American you were looking for. We've got him in the parking garage." The return transmission suggested the main force was coming back to get him.
Seems to be a popular man.
For the life of me, I don't know why they didn't just throw him in the transport and take him.
Yeah, strange that. Well, maybe we'll find out. I think if we bolster your forces with our own, we might be able to get rid of those Ruskies, break them out of there.
So can I ask, what exactly is it that you wanted with the captain?
He has some intel that the leader of our settlement wanted to ask him about.
Look, we can't really pay you for this. I don't know what intel the captain has for you, but if you really want to help us, I think that we would all be down for staging a rescue. I mean, we've been talking about it.
Yeah, if he does have the intel that we're looking for, it will be well worth it.
Well, if we attack together, we really wouldn't have to worry about the one location reinforcing the other if we attacked them both simultaneously. That's what we were talking about doing before, but to split our forces now would leave us pretty thin at both locations. But with you two, might not be a problem.
How many men do you have in total? Just who we've got here now? Or do you have any scouts out?
We've got 5 soldiers, U.S., and a handful of civilians. To be honest, I would just leave them back to guard. They're not going to be much good in a firefight.
Works for me.
Now, the majority of the militia that the Russians raised are actually at the hotel right now. As far as we know, last time the parking garage isn't that well guarded. The BTR is there, But in terms of manpower, there's not so many there. Most of them are staying at the hotel.
All right. Well, we have probably a better chance of taking on the BTR in case it comes to that than you. Not at the RPG that he's carrying.
All right.
So I say it would make most tactical sense for us to prioritize that target.
Well,
you guys think hotel?
We could head to the hotel. As soon as we hear shooting at the parking garage, we can open up on it. Keep them from going to reinforce.
Well, that's the point. Like, maybe watch the hotel as soon as they start coming out, lay into them.
The question is, do you want any of us to come with you to the garage? 5 of us would be pretty good at pinning down the soldiers in the hotel. What do you think?
I think we could balance the team out a little bit more. Maybe 1 or 2 men should come with us. What's your take on it, Private?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind some backup.
Yeah,
Could be helpful.
the 5 of them discussed along with you a potential battle plan. They decided they're going to need most of them because they're going to already be outnumbered at the parking garage. But they agree. Says we got this guy here, Big Jim. Big Jim's a Army Ranger. Should work good in a small team. Get nice and close with you.
Works for me.
Sounds good.
Says, so, I know you guys have been traveling all day, but I don't know when the Russians are going to get here.
Yeah, I think time may be of the essence. I think we can push through this.
Says,
Yeah,
all right, let's go. Let's go get the captain back. And maybe get out of town and go into hiding before the main force arrives.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. You guys move north to the city in the area of the couple of blocks where the parking garage is and where the hotel is. The Army Ranger that is with you, Big Jim, he can show you right where the parking garage is. Let me roll for weather for the 3rd quarter of the day to see if anything changes. Still clear skies. This will be during the 3rd quarter of the day. Man, lost my train of thought there. Oh yeah, as you yeah, the hotel or the parking garage they're talking about is in an area of the city that's been pretty badly bombed out. As you guys approach, one of you can go ahead and make a recon check to see exactly how much you can see of the area.
So, binoculars.
Binoculars would work here, yeah.
Uh-oh. Yep. I'm going to push that. I'm going to get a little closer.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to describe my push earlier. Sorry.
That's okay.
That is 3 successes.
3 successes. All right.
Wow.
In that case, I will show you the whole map and describe a few extra details to you. All right. So with 3 successes, you're basically going to see everything that you need to see here. So this is sort of the area of the city, the parking garage. I keep trying to ping it like I'm in Roll20. The parking garage you can see at the right. The BTR is sort of sitting in the rubble of where a building used to be. But things that you note. There are... Hey, someone destroyed my BTR.
Yeah, that was me on accident. My bad.
We'll just say we've already blown it up.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. As you approach the BTR, it is idling right now. You can see some exhaust coming out of it. You do notice though, the one of the tires. The BTR has, I believe it is a 6-wheeled vehicle. I'll throw it in Discord so you can take a look at it here. Oops, hold on. Throw it in the in-game thing. But anyways,
8-wheel.
8 wheels, yeah. You can see on the right side of it at the back, one of the wheels has come right off the axle. The other one, the tire is completely shredded. You don't know exactly what happened, but something royally messed up the suspension of this vehicle, which might answer the question of why they left it behind and why they haven't attempted to transport the captain if he's here. You don't see any Russian soldiers. You assume there's probably a Russian crew in the BTR. But in terms of the civilian militia, you can see 2 guys that are sort of walking around. These would be the dudes with the little pistol icon. They're actually not armed with pistols. They're armed with Uzis. There is one guy that is... he's guarding... He's made like a little campsite inside of a crater. That's the guy just to the south of the parking garage. He's got like a little tent set up, a little fire pit set up. It's just him. He is also armed with an Uzi. Keeping sentry, though, on what we'll call the watchtower, on the highest point of the parking garage, you can see another person, clearly a civilian. They're armed with an RPK light machine gun. And they're just standing. They don't have binoculars, just kind of going like this, scanning the area. But yeah, it looks. You don't know how many people are inside the structure. You only see 4 people walking around, and according to Big Jim, that's about everyone that's here as far as he knows. Unless there's a bunch of people in the back of the transport, but probably wouldn't just be hanging out in there. I should mention, too, the BTR, you don't know what its ammunition situation is, but it is armed with a KPV machine gun, which is basically a 50 cal.
Okay. Kevlar ain't going to help with that.
Well, I'm a pretty good shot, so I'll prioritize taking out the machine gunner in the tower. If you can keep the 2 Uzi guys pinned down with your machine gun, and keep an eye on the BTR. If it starts looking active, you can shove an RPG down its throat.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. Does the Army Ranger have any suggestions? I assume they do some of this sort of special ops type stuff. Because I was wondering, which direction are we coming in from, by the way?
So you guys will kind of choose, if you're going to, assuming you're going to try and sneak up on them, you can choose what position you guys want to take on this map. Depending on how close you want to get to the enemy, recon rolls will be a little bit more difficult.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if we want to shoot our way in, or if we want to try to, sneak our way in. I'm not sure. Is sneaking? Is that recon, or
sneaking goes off of recon? Yeah, if you wanted to try and bypass all these people, you could try to send someone just into the parking garage itself. So yeah, you could do that. You could try to get into the parking garage yourself and just totally stealth this. Or you could try to sneak up to like an advantageous position to attack, and then ambush them. Both are valid options. Or you could do some combination of the 2 things.
Yeah, I think sneaking up for the ambush is probably the safest bet.
Big Jim's opinion is that the BTR, if it has ammunition, will be the biggest threat. Not only because of the big gun, but because it's probably got trained soldiers in it, unlike the militia that are just sort of walking about.
Yeah, like, get into a position where you have a clear line of fire on the BTR. Like if it opens up, people start coming out. You gotta hit it. If you see the gun moving, you gotta hit it.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So what I'll do
That sounds
is
good.
I've made your tokens public. You should be able to bring out your own tokens on the screen. You're totally welcome to occupy the same hex if you want. Show me where you guys would like to appear. I don't have any NATO tokens, so I'm going to use this red token here as Big Jim. He's gonna tag along with one of you, so I'm just going to drag him off the map for now. In terms of how close you want to get, basically, if you are 6 hexes away or more when you want to launch the ambush, there is no penalty for that. If you want to get within 5 of any of the enemies, or I mean closer than 5, or yeah, 5 or closer than any of the enemies, it's going to be a -1 to recon.
I was thinking if we enter from the south, it would probably be the best.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I was thinking the same thing somewhere down in this area, but then that will give us the negative to recon, right? Because we're already so close.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I mean, worst case, we get seen, we just open fire.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
figure if we come at this angle of the road, we'll have a pretty clear line of sight onto the BTR. That's the biggest priority I think we should keep in mind.
All right.
For sure.
I think
I'll check it out.
I'll have. Whoops. I'm gonna have Big Jim is gonna go ahead and accompany Bill. I guess. Is this where you guys want to get before the shooting will start? Is that the idea?
Yeah, probably somewhere around this tree here.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
Yeah. Go ahead and throw yourself in the wooded hex then. That's the way to go.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, as you guys are approaching, we're going to have a recon roll. Who is the worst at recon amongst you? That's the person who has to roll.
It's probably me.
Yeah, I've got a 12 and a 10.
Yeah, I've got an 8 and an 8.
All
So
right. You're gonna get a -1 penalty as you guys are getting fairly close for the end. Actually, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, I'm not going to do -1 because you're getting fairly close to the APC, but the APC is not particularly good at keeping watch, the crew that's inside of it. So it's really the soldiers that are a problem. You're fairly far from them, so there'll be no penalty. You'll make a straight up recon roll. If you succeed, you will get into position undetected. If you fail, a number of things might happen.
all right. Well, let's see. Here we go. Yeah. Yes. We got 1 success.
All
Is that
right.
enough?
You are not only able to get into position, you'll also be able to get into cover. The way cover works in this game, when you're in a hex, it's normally a fast action to say that you're going to cover. And when you go to cover, you choose 3 facings of your hex that you have cover in. I'm going to assume you guys are going to choose the top 3 facings of that hex, and I'll use that same cover. All right.
Also, yeah, I'm going to drop my backpack at the tree, so I'm not hindered mobility-wise.
Good point. Yeah, same thing.
I'm going to alter Bill's position slightly. I'm going to say he's going to, not
Sure.
Bill, rather, Big Jim. I'm going to say he's going to go here and take cover behind the wall. Mainly, Big Jim, Army Ranger, would not want you guys to be that bunched up. So he's gonna,
that's probably smart.
He's gonna head over a little bit with his M4. All right, yeah. So the way an ambush will work, if you guys begin firing, surprise. Let's see here. All combatants, hang on. All right, so it's an interesting surprise thing. So one of you will go first in the initiative automatically. We'll get the number 1 initiative card. This uses initiative cards like Forbidden Lands or Alien. Everyone else, including those on your side, will randomly get dealt. So the ambush is weird. Only one of you really get to fully benefit from it. Let me bring out my deck of cards here. All right. Man, what did I just do? Hold on a second. There was an issue with the cards, and I can't remember
What it was?
Okay, I remember. I threw the cards I didn't want to use out on the table, and the rest are in the deck. So all right. I'm not sure how to give to you. Is there a way I can give a player a card? Whatever. We'll just leave the ace in the discard for now. All right. So which one of you wants to draw the ace and automatically go first?
Are we wanting to hit the BTR first, or wait and see if it's actually operating?
We have a good angle on it. I mean, if you want to hit it first, then you should definitely go first. If not, then I'll go first and try to take a shot at the guy in the tower.
Yeah, you guys know that its engine's running because you can see the exhaust and, well, hear it from out here. As to its total functionality, you guys don't really know.
Okay. It's up to you, Corporal.
Yeah, if we can take the BTR out, the rest are civilians. So I think you going first would probably be our most efficient usage.
All right, so
our initiative.
We won't even have Bill draw an initiative card. We just know that he has the ace. Mark, you should be able to draw a card. Up at the upper right, there's a thing called cards. You're going to view my hand. If you click on the deck, you should draw a single card. Don't tell us what it is, though. We're using secret initiative in this. I'll explain how that works. Just keep your cards a secret as you are drawing them.
All right, I got it. Okay, you click it to flip it.
All right, so you should have a card in your hand, right?
I do.
Are you looking at your hand or my hand? Never mind.
I'm guessing.
I think you're doing right. Mine just was doing weird things for a second. All right. So here's the way Secret Initiative works. You don't know what card. You don't know what cards everyone has. What I'll do is I'll be like, number 1 goes, number 2 goes, number 3 goes, and you just let me know when that is. If it's your turn and you have an ally that hasn't gone yet, and their character is able to hear you, you can switch initiatives to them by shouting a command at them, and if they agree, you'll switch initiatives. They can't tell you what you're switching for. They can just say yes or no. Something to think about. But to open up this entire thing, we're going to start with Bill. And actually, I'm going to send you another little handout here. These are actions in combat. Don't worry about reading all these. There's a lot of them. And then there's ranged modifiers as well.
Okay. So, we're 2 hexes away for this thing? Wait, 1, 2, we're 3 hexes away.
So that's probably going to be in the first range band of your weapon. Whatever your weapon's range is, that's what short range is for it.
Okay.
I'm guessing this is a large target.
What was that?
I'm guessing that is a large target.
It is, but heavy weapons don't get a bonus for shooting large targets. They instead get a penalty for shooting small targets.
Makes sense.
All right. So there is a partially collapsed wall of a building that you are shooting through. Let me Just take a quick look here. Where's my combat terrain? Here we go. All right, so you know what? I'll say the collapsed wall is small enough that it won't enter into it for the BTR. So you're going to make a heavy weapons check with no modifiers.
All right. Bang. Oh yeah.
All right, that is a hit on this. This is like a 1960s era BTR2. It's not modern at all. All right, boom. That is a hit. We'll call that a hit on its sidearm. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. Okay, what is the damage rating of your RPG?
7.
Christ, that's a lot. Okay. Does it have an armor value?
2. Wait. No, -1.
-1. Okay.
I was reading crit. Crit is 2. I didn't crit. How do you crit? By the way, I know I didn't, but
so you need to roll if your total damage is equal to or greater than the crit rating of the weapon, it is a critical hit. On vehicles, this doesn't matter. On human beings, it does. There is a good chance your rocket launcher has a crit rating lower than its damage rating.
yes.
Which means if a human being were hit directly by the rocket, it's an automatic critical hit.
Okay. Yeah, because that makes sense. You get hit with a rocket, you're not.
Yep.
You're not walking from that probably.
All right. So, anyways, RPG hit. We got to figure out what happens to the vehicle. I have a pretty good idea what's going to happen to it, but we're going to go ahead and check out. Come on, where's my vehicle tables? All right, so this is a penetrating hit. So you need to roll a d10 to figure out what exactly got hit on the vehicle.
Alrighty. A 1. I don't know if 1 as low is good or bad.
So what's going to happen is the weapon's going to penetrate possibly through multiple components. The first thing that it's going to pass through is the fuel tank.
Oh, snap. Okay. That could be really bad.
Right. So, all right. So we need. So the fuel tank. The fuel tank is going to be leaking and at half capacity. Also, what's the blast rating of your RPG? I think it's a C, but I don't.
It's a Charlie. Yeah.
C. All right, you're going to roll 2d8. What this means is we're rolling the blast rating of the weapon. This would normally be something that would affect infantry.
Okay.
If either one of these is success, all right.
Yep, 2 of them are. Okay.
In that case, it doesn't matter what other components get hit. Its fuel tank will ignite. It is
Wow.
There is a huge explosion, and then a fiery wreck. Draw my little fire.
Nice shot.
All right, yeah. The turret goes flying in the air. Black smoke billows everywhere. So that hex right there is completely filled with black smoke and burning wreckage. Now we're going to switch to the normal initiative order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count off cards. If you happen to have the card, let me know. 2. All right, 3 is going to be bad guy group number 1. Bad guy group number 1 is going to... Yeah, he is going to ready his weapon and take cover. I'm indicating the indicating the hexes that have cover if you ever want to try and maneuver around him. All right, 4 is enemy group number 4. That would be the sniper lady on top of the not the sniper, the machine gunner lady. She's going to use a free action to go prone to set her weapon up on a bipod. She is then going to roll to see if she is aware of you guys. All right, She is aware of your presence. She's not going to be able to fire this turn, however. All right. 5.
I'm 5.
All right.
So I will do the aim fast action, and then I will take a shot at the lady in the tower.
All right, so the range is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this will be, if I'm not mistaken, this will be a medium range shot.
Correct.
Her altitude is high enough. Let's see. You are going through a hex of trees. Let me see. What would that normally? What would that normally do? This is the foliage. I tell you what, since it's only the tops of the trees that you're going to be going through for a few of these, it'll only be a -1 from the foliage. So between range and those trees that you're shooting over the top of, -2 on your ranged attack, and choose your rate of fire as well before firing.
All right, I will choose a rate of fire of 3. And it will be minus. The minus is from the smallest die? Or from the largest die?
From the smallest die, yep. Penalties from the small die, bonuses to the big die.
All right. Only 2 successes.
All right. So, so you use 10 bullets. That's how the ammo dice work.
Yep.
And then, so the damage of your weapon is normally 2, right?
The damage of the weapon is normally 2.
However, you have an extra success, meaning you did 3 damage, which I believe is the critical rating of the weapon, right?
Yes, indeed.
All right. That means in a hail of automatic gunfire, you can see that you have successfully tagged the machine gunner. She's now laying down on the roof motionless, her machine gun off of its bipod laying on its side now.
Wow, nice shot.
All right. 6 is enemy group number 2. They've already got their weapons ready, as they were the ones on patrol. This guy here, he's gonna move 1, 2. Whoa, that was weird. He's gonna be in this hex, taking cover behind that barrier. This guy up here, he is gonna move 1, 2. He's actually going to attempt a mobility roll to move faster. Wait, it's not going to be that though. It's going to be. All right, he'll move 1 hex. He's going to get another fast action, or another. It's fast action to run, so he's just going to run again. He failed his mobility, so he's only going to move 2 spaces, but he's running at a full sprint towards the shooting. And then yeah, that was initiative. What was that? Initiative 6. 7 would have been the APC. 8 is going to be Big Jim. Big Jim with his M4 is going to fire at the guy taking cover behind the wall. What is and I forgot to roll his ammo dice, so I'll roll that in a second. He's going to get a hit. I was going to use 3 ammo dice, so. Alright, I now have to roll hit location against that guy. You should have, normally you'd roll hit location, but it didn't matter against the lady.
How is hit location rolled?
What was that?
How is hit location rolled?
It's a D6. 1 is legs, 2 to 4 is torso, 5 is arms, 6 is head. So this was a headshot against this guy, which means it will bypass his cover. It was a basic success, so it'll do 2 points of damage to him. I'm just going to put a dot on him to indicate he is... Alright, so that guy is injured. That blue line that I'm painting there is just a reminder to me. He is automatically suppressed by this as well. All right, I believe that was everyone's first go, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So the way it's going to work is I'm gonna go ahead and take all the cards back. I have to do this carefully, or I'm going to fuck up the deck. All right, each of you are going to go ahead and draw a single initiative card. I'm going to draw one for all of the NPCs.
How do I put my card back?
It should have already gone back. Did it go back?
It did not go back.
It did not. In that case... oh, I see my cards didn't go back either. Hang on a second. Oh, no, wait. Okay, my cards went back this time. Did your cards go back?
They did not go back. I'm still sitting looking at that one.
Just click the little X in the top corner of the card and it will discard it. Or there might be a lag.
Yeah, there was probably a bit of a lag. It just went back.
All right. So once your hand is clear of cards, go ahead and draw yourself a card.
As a draw our card, we click the card button and then click the deck.
Click the
one
deck.
time.
Yeah, and it should bring. And if you're on the little view tab that says "My Hand," it should bring a card into your hand.
Yeah, it might take a little bit of time for the card to actually appear there.
Yeah, I was going to say, because there's nothing there.
Yeah, for mine it took about 5 seconds. But
The cards are being a little bit being a tad laggy.
Okay, it's there now. But it's just a square. We got to click it to view it.
Yeah, you'll click it, it'll flip it over, and you'll have a
Okay.
You'll have a value. All right, so I've got all the NPCs locked in. So, who has a 1? All right, a 2 is going to be Big Jim. Big Jim is going to fire at the same suppressed guy. He's going to conserve ammo though because he does not have a lot. All right, so that is a hit with an extra hit from the ammo die. That's what happens. So he's doing damage twice. This will do 4 damage to. Alright, so he's going to hit the guy's cover. The cover is 3, so 1 damage will go through. The guy is further injured and still suppressed. Alright, Big Jim fired another 6 bullets. Okay, that was 2. 3. 4. 3, alright. So just so you know... Oh, oops. So some things to consider. This guy, the guy that is behind the wall, is in cover. Any shot besides his head right now, while he's ducking, is going to hit cover, and it's going to be hard to damage him unless you move to get around the barrier. The guy north of him is not in cover. He was sprinting. He'll be hard to hit because he was a moving target. It's actually a -2 to shoot at him. And then you have the other guy up in the upper right that is in cover.
I will shoot at the sprinting guy.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Range.
All right, so he looks like he's in short range. You do have a barrier in between you and him that will be a further -1. So from him running and you firing past a barrier, it's going to be a -3 altogether.
All right. Just looking at the actions real quick. I'm going to do the same thing. 3 3 extra dice for ammo.
All right.
That is 2 successes.
All right. That's going to be another. That's going to be another critical hit, isn't it?
Yep.
All right. As he's running, you fire a burst of ammunition. You see him collapse and then skid into that crater right in front of him. Another enemy brought down.
Wow, man.
All
Good
right.
shot.
So that was what was that 3? Yeah. All right. 4 is enemy number 1, the guy that is up here in cover with his Uzi. Uzi has a range of 3. 2, 3. This is a pretty long-range shot for him. So what he is actually going to try and do, he's going to attempt to get to a better position. He's going to attempt to do a mobility check and run into some foliage. He's going to only have 2d6 because of penalties. He's going to fail. This means he is going to go here, here, and then as his second slow action, he will indeed move into here, but it'll prevent him from firing because he failed his movement check. But now he's at close range without intervening terrain. That was 4, so we got 5. 6 is enemy number 4. Oh wait, I should have given enemy number 4 a card because enemy number 4 is dead. 7, 8.
I go on an 8.
All right,
And,
so you have one enemy who is running and in heavy foliage, pretty difficult shot. You have another enemy who's been stationary but behind good cover. Really, either one is a fine choice.
Okay. Let's see. I'm wondering how the RPG would work against that cover. If I shot the wall, he's,
So the RPG. So here's the way it works with the RPG. It would completely negate the cover that he is in. You would just roll against the blast rating of the weapon. However, it is a slow action to reload a heavy weapon. So if you wanted to use the RPG, it would be your full turn to reload it. If you wanted to drop it and switch to your rifle, that's a fast action, okay. And that would let you take an unaimed shot with the rifle, which is not accurate, but you could at least fire this turn. But it's up to you.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that then. I'll just drop the RPG and shoot with the rifle. I'm going to shoot the person that is probably the guy in the foliage, I think.
Okay. Now, here's the deal.
So, yeah.
Total penalty is -3. Here's why. -2 because it's a quick shot because you couldn't aim because you were switching weapons. -1 because of the, excuse me, it's -2 for the heavy foliage. So -4, really hard shot. However, you can mitigate this by firing an ass ton of ammunition.
Yeah, I'll do that. I haven't actually shot this yet, so I have a full thing plus some reload. So when you say a shit ton, so how many would I shoot?
So what's your rate of fire on the weapon?
Rate of fire is 6.
You could go up to 6. Even if you don't hit him, the rate of fire dice, if they come up with 6s but you still miss on your primary dice, what you'll do is you'll pin him, preventing him from firing back. Even if you have a really poor chance to hit, like moving target in heavy woods, just spraying ammo with your light machine gun is a great way to keep him from shooting back.
Yeah, I'll do that. Actually, I'm gonna go full auto here, I guess. So all 6 rate of fire 6.
So yeah, you'll do your primary dice with that heavy -4 penalty, which probably won't leave you with much, and then you'll roll 66. That'll be how much ammo you use.
Okay, so I roll the heavy weapons die. That would be a D6, but I've got a -4.
Okay.
So that gets downgraded. How would that work? The other's a D12.
Sure. So here's how it works. You've got the D12 plus the D6. -4. So we start with your lowest die. So the D6 goes away. That's one of the
Okay.
penalties. Then that
Yep.
leaves you with a -3, so the D12 gets downgraded 3 times.
So it's a D8 now.
6, right?
12. Oh, 6. Yes. Yeah.
So you're going to roll 1d6 for your skill die, which is pretty shit, but then you're going to roll 6d6 in addition to that for your ammo. Keep in mind the 6d6 that you roll is how much ammo you use, not that first d6.
Okay. All right. So let's give this a go. Bang.
Oh man, that
Oh,
only
good.
Wow.
Nice.
All right. You used a lot of ammunition, but here's what happens. You hit on your primary die, which that is a hit. He did not take cover on his turn, so there's no chance of hitting a tree instead of him, because he couldn't take cover. He used all his movement just to run up. So you've hit him with the weapon, and you've hit him an additional time, is what that means. So what's the base damage of the weapon?
The base damage is a 2.
All right, so 2 damage plus another 2 damage as a second bullet in that volley caught him. So yeah, as you see this soldier sprinting through the trees, right about to get to a tree to cover, you see him lit up multiple rounds of ammunition. He drops to the ground, yet another casualty of this ambush.
Sweet. Now, how do I calculate how much ammunition I just used?
Sure, it's the total of all your ammunition dice. So not your skill dice,
sorry.
so not that first one, but all the other ammo dice. So 24 rounds of ammunition, if I'm not mistaken, is what you used.
Okay, and so then I subtract that from it says current magazine holds 200.
Yep.
Is
So
that right?
Yep, your belt of ammo is down 24 rounds. That's the nice thing about the light machine gun is it's got a.
So I have 176 left then.
Yep.
It's pretty intense.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right, cool.
And you know what? I did this wrong. There should have the penalty should have actually been a little bit worse because with a machine gun you need to set it up as a fast action. I'm not worried about it. Switching with the machine gun is harder than with a regular rifle, but that's okay. That's okay.
All right.
Anyways, penalties add up brutally in this system, as you saw. But
Yeah.
anyways, that was Initiative 8. Initiative 9 is bad guy number 2. So he automatically has to spend a fast action to recover from being pinned. He then has to make a courage under fire check to see if it instead is a fast action. His morale is terrible, but he succeeded. All right, so he's going to have a fast action unpinning himself. What he is going to do with his Uzi, he's going to fire into the forest with the two of you in an attempt to cause a little bit of suppression. So his Uzi has a range of 3. 1, 2, 3. You're within range. He's going to fire. Let's see, a D8 and a D6. He's going to get down to his minimum here because -2 and then -2. Okay. He has very little chance of hitting you. So what he's going to do is he's going to use his maximum rate of fire. He's just spraying bullets. He hit someone.
Of course he did.
All right. I was so confident that he would not hit anybody. I forgot to determine who he was shooting at. So on a 1 to 3, it'll be Bill. On a 4, 1 to 2, it'll be Bill. 3 or 4, it'll be. All right, Bill, you have been struck by an Uzi. Now, you had previously taken cover. The way it generally works is if you're in cover, he's going to hit the cover if he rolls anything except your arms or your head. So on a 5 or a 6, all right, 2. This meant you were hit in the torso. According to the rule book, when you take cover in foliage, your cover rating is 2. And you're wearing Kevlar armor, right?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, actually, the armor doesn't matter. It's not getting through the cover. You're fine. You're fine. So a surprisingly accurate shot. Now, you were shot at and nearly hit. You have to make a courage under fire check. Otherwise, you are going to become pinned. Courage under fire. All right. I know it says unit morale A on your sheet, but that's a mistake. You have 0 unit morale because you don't have a commander amongst you.
Okay.
You're just going to roll 1d6. On anything but a 6, you are pinned down.
Oh, I'm probably pinned down then. But let's see. Here we go.
If you're ever playing with a group, you want to make sure one player has the command skill. That's fine.
Yes.
There,
How lucky is that?
for Bill, there's no such thing as difficult shots or suppression, right? It's just another day in the life.
That's great.
It's all he can roll is 6s. All right, awesome. That's going to be everybody for this round of combat. So I'm going to go ahead and do this card thing again.
Okay, how do we dismiss our cards?
Well, I'm gonna suck them all back into the deck. It's gonna take a minute. There's gonna be a little bit of a lag.
Do I need to discard it first for you?
You shouldn't have to. You should just wait a second, and it should go away.
Okay.
I think.
Yep, it's gone.
Yeah. Roll's not super optimized yet, so.
It's all good. It's all learning.
And there's probably a little extra lag because everything's bouncing from the U.S. all the way over
to Japan, yeah.
and then back.
All right, go ahead and draw your guys one card each.
All right.
All right, so we're going to go through initiative. We got 1, 2, 3. 3 is Big Jim. Big Jim is low on ammunition, so he's just going to do a minimum rate of fire. All right. The last enemy is brought down. Hell, you barely even needed Jim.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, there is a BTR that is a flaming wreck. You can confirm that the civilian militia that got raised by the Soviets, they are all down. And to be honest, they were pretty unequipped for the fight, except for the machine gun. But you took that out right away. Yeah, and in the far distance now too, you can hear the sounds of combat happening at the hotel. Lots of automatic gunfire. On the bright side, it means they're probably too occupied to come here. All right, so what's the plan?
Cool.
I'm going to swap out my ammo for a fresh magazine, first and foremost.
All right.
I'm going to say, all right, next move is clear in the garage. Keep your guard up. We don't know if there's any more hostiles inside.
Sounds good.
All right, parking garage it is. I'm just going to drag you over into that area. All right, yeah.
Looking at my dog keeps wanting to make an appearance. So.
Clearly the dog is good luck. All right, making into the garage, there's lots of... there's a couple of temporary shelters that have been set up here, some tents that have been set up here. You don't know if it was the Russians that were living here or other civilians. And there's a lot of disabled vehicles in here. You can see a lot of cars that at some point or other were stripped for parts, or maybe damaged by the shrapnel of the bombs. Although it should be mentioned, this parking garage is the only building in the vicinity that got spared collapse from the massive artillery strike that hit this area. As you are sweeping through, you do. Do you guys want to like call out for the captain, or just sort of quietly search the different floors for him?
I think quietly searching is the safest route.
All right.
Yeah, I think so too.
As you were searching, eventually, yeah, you do come to an area where there's like a handrail near a staircase, and you can see who you assume is an American soldier. He's wearing his fatigues, his pants anyways. He's got the gray shirt, Army, written on it. He is handcuffed, both hands, to the rail. He looks like he's been beaten severely and barely conscious. As you approach him, whoever is best at recon amongst you, make a recon check.
That is not me.
Double checking my dice pool. I'm going to push that.
So, I'll go ahead and tell you. You actually can't push this roll. The reason being, you can only push rolls that are a proactive action that you are taking. So, like passively spotting something, cannot push. Sorry, something distracted me. All right, as you are approaching the good captain, you guys are ambushed. There was one more combatant, a man with an AK-74 hiding in the back of a burnt-out van, starts firing out the back window of your group. So once again, we're going to do initiative. However, what I'll do is I'll just make him go first rather than giving him the ace, just because with the way these cards are, it's going to be easier. Yeah. All right, so I'll draw for Big Jim anyway. So yeah, go ahead and draw yourself cards for initiative. All right. The man with the AK-74, as he fires, he screams something in Russian. He's about 20 meters away from you all, and he catches you in a spot where you are completely exposed, and you're all within fairly close proximity to each other. So he is going to fire. He is a better shot than those other guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to go buck wild here. And
Ruh-roh.
All right. Hey, you see that roll? Okay.
Holy cow!
Huge spray of bullets comes in. You see Big Jim hit several times. You are each going to be hit by one bullet. That's what those 2 extra 6s there are going to represent. So first, Bill, you're going to take 2 points of damage. Is it 2? All right, so here's the works. It's 2 points of damage to your torso, but you have Kevlar. Because the Kevlar is penetrated, the Kevlar is destroyed. You no longer have that armor. However, you're only taking 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Justin, you are hit in the head, but you have Kevlar. So the same thing, you're going to take 1 point of damage, but your helmet is destroyed. For watching, you guys can see Big Jim gets absolutely ventilated in front of you. You're each automatically going to take a point of stress for that. You're then going to take an additional point of stress for having been hit. Then you're each going to roll a d6 for your courage, or whatever your courage under fire rating is. It might be higher than a d6. You're going to roll courage under fire, which, because you don't have a group morale, it's going to be 1 die to see if you get pinned by this or not.
Darn, I'm pinned. Yes.
All right, so we're gonna go through the initiative now. We're just gonna go really quick. 2, 3.
Yeah. Well, I have the 1. I had the ace.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Right. All right. Now, because you were pinned, you're going to make another courage under fire to see if this consumes a fast or a slow action on your turn.
Okay.
You failed, which means not only does it consume your slow action, but because you were exposed, you were forced to run for cover, which might be something you did anyways. So you are automatically going to get behind a the nearest car, and you just duck down on your initiative. Next, well, Mark, you're going to be the next one that goes. So next is Justin. Justin, since you weren't pinned, you could still go for cover as a fast action, or you could simply return fire at the guy. It's up to you.
All right, he seems like he's got pretty good cover in his van, though, right?
Yeah, so he's basically there's the back door of the van that's closed, and he's firing out the window. So the van door is not particularly strong cover, but it will give him cover to everything except for his arms and his head. And he's wearing a steel Soviet helmet on his head.
How would tossing a grenade at that work?
Fine question. I did say he was about 20 meters away, so we'll say that's 2 hexes, which is fine for the grenade. So what you would do if you threw a grenade at him, it's your full action to pull the pin and throw it. So you wouldn't be able to do anything else. You would make a heavy weapons check. If you succeed, it will land in his hex, and he won't get the benefits of cover. If you fail, it will scatter to a random hex. He'll still be in the blast radius, but it won't be as effective. But it's going to be a heavy weapons check to whip a grenade at him, but you won't be able to go for cover.
Okay, that's good to know. I don't have any skill in heavy weapons, so I'm going to stick with my M16. Yeah, I'll go for cover and then shoot at him.
All right, so fast action will get you into cover behind a vehicle, and then shooting at him without being able to aim is going to be a -2 penalty.
All right, I'll do my normal dice pool of 3 units of ammo, or whatever. -2. Heyo.
Ooh.
2 successes.
2 successes. Roll.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll a d. Go ahead and keep track of your ammo consumption there, and then roll a d6 to see where you hit him. On a 5 or 6 is the arms or the head. Anything else is going to go through the car.
Going through cover.
All right. So you're hitting him in the legs. The car door is going to give him 1 point of damage reduction. So you had 2 successes, right?
Correct.
So that would have been 3 damage, which would have been a critical hit insta-kill. However, it's going to be reduced to 2 damage because of the car door. This will make him automatically suppressed. And, yeah, we are on to a new round of combat. So, I already shuffled the cards ahead of time, so go ahead and draw yourself some cards.
All right.
All right, so we're just going to go through the initiative really quick. All right, 1, 2.
I have an ace.
You have an ace. All right. You already took cover, so you're behind cover. You can do a regular aim and shoot. There'd be no penalty at this range.
Yep, regular aim and shoot. Same thing. 3 units of ammo. Actually, I'm only going to do 2. Two successes.
All right.
Nice.
You cannot help but to roll multiple successes. All right. You also rolled multiple 1s. I'm going to explain what that means in a second. But first, we're going to resolve the shot. All right. Roll hit location to see if you hit his arms or his head. Because if you do, that's the end of it for him.
That's his arms or head.
Bam! All right, yeah. You see a spray of bullets light up the back of the car. He collapses inside of it, and suddenly all goes quiet. Next, you are going to here's the way rolling multiple ones when shooting works. All right, I want you to degrade your weapon 1 step. So whatever its reliability is, bring it down to the next level. All right. So for your weapon, Mark, what does that mean?
It makes it a C.
All right, you're now going to roll 2d8 to see if the weapon malfunctions.
My mouse is bouncing around like crazy.
All right, your weapon malfunctioned. Normally that would have been really shitty, but luckily this shot took care of the problem. So you'll be able to clear the malfunction automatically. Normally there's a roll for that, or there might still be a roll for it. I can't remember, but in any event, your weapon. Yeah, actually, it's a tech roll to fix the weapon. So for now, the weapon has malfunctioned, but all is quiet.
All right, so keep your eyes open. Check on Big Jim.
All right,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've got a personal med kit. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll go check Big Jim first to see if a personal med kit even going to help.
Yeah,
Or
you guys can
beyond
see.
that.
Unfortunately, the ambush. Big Jim was like triple critical hit, so
No.
or double critical hit or something like that. I forget. He had a lot of successes against him. Yeah, Big Jim unfortunately is clearly dead. There will be no saving him.
He needs more than a band-aid, boss.
All right, well, keep your eyes open. I'm going to work on clearing this jam out of my gun.
All right, go ahead and make a tech check there, Mark, to clear the jam.
I have a 6.
All right, your gun is working just fine. Its condition still remains at C, which means it's going to need some hefty maintenance to bring it back up to par, but it is functioning now. But yeah, there don't appear to be any other enemies around.
All right. I'll talk to the guy and be like, "Are you Captain Cruz?"
He looks up weakly. Says, "Yeah, I'm Captain Cruz." You can see he's trying to recognize if you are one of his guys or not. His eyes are kind of swollen from his beating. He says, "You're Americans?"
Yeah, the name is Justin Cynical. We were sent here from one of the settlements to the south to have a word with you, but what takes priority now is getting out of here. There may be some more Ruskies on the way.
He just nods and gestures at his handcuffs.
I've got an
Alright.
axe, boss. If you want me to try to use an axe to break those cuffs, the link in between.
I'm going to check that guy if he had a key on him, the one that was in the van.
That's a much smarter idea than what I was going to do.
He's like, "Look out, everybody!" All right. Looking in the back of the truck, you can see the dead Russian soldier. A couple of things are apparent to you. One, this is a Russian soldier. Clearly, it is not one of the civilians. Judging by the insignia on his uniform, he was some sort of a Spetsnaz operative. So not just a soldier, an elite special forces at that. But yeah, he does indeed have the handcuff keys in his pocket.
All right. Bill, put that axe away.
yeah, good thinking, boss.
All right, yeah, you can you can easily release Captain Cruz now that you have that key.
Does that special forces guy, he got any kind of equipment on him be helpful for us to take back? I don't know if looting people is something cool to do in this game or not, but
Yeah, no, actually, scrounging for equipment is a big deal in this game. Checking on the special forces operative, he has. Let's see, you never hit him in the head or the body. He's got Russian steel body armor or Kevlar body armor, steel hat. It's the equivalent of the American version, except that the helmet weighs 2 instead of 1/2. So, but the vest is the same. He has an AK-74 assault rifle in good condition. He's got 50 rounds of ammunition remaining for it. He has 2 Russian fragmentation grenades. And and a personal med kit on him.
Well, my Kevlar vest got busted, so I think I'll switch mine out with his. And didn't your helmet get busted, Corporal?
Yes, it did.
Well, might be a little heavier, but it's better than not wearing one. So I'll toss the helmet over to him.
All right. So your previous helmet weighed 1/2, but the Russian version weighs 1, so that's the only difference.
And of course, I think we'll take these cool, fully functioning weapons as well, probably.
Yeah.
I'll just give him I'll ask the corporal what he wants to do. Does he want me to carry on back? Does he want to switch out his weapon with one of these, or what does he want to do? I guess I'd take Big Jim's stuff and his dog tags back to his group, right? If he has dog tags on, everybody wears those.
Yeah, probably still has the dog tags on him. So, yeah, you could bring his stuff, and Captain Cruz, even though he's badly beaten, he can help carry some equipment too.
I was gonna say we have our backpacks. We left at the tree.
Oh yeah, and you got your backpacks, so yeah, AK-74
Yeah.
and all that ammo and grenades. You can just toss that in there.
Cool. Well, there's some Uzis out there too. I mean, I don't know. Stuff to grab, I guess. We should check everybody, you think, or no?
Yeah, if you want to, there are three Uzis. The Uzis each have a. Let me look them up real quick. I lost my little document. There we go. All right. There's 3 Uzis. The Uzis each have a weight of 1. They are all going to be reliability C, just to make it easy. There is a grand total, just to make it easy too, remaining of 90 9mm rounds. There is also an RPK machine gun. It has a weight of 2 and has 75 rounds of ammunition in it, 7.62 by 39.
Ooh, that'd probably be nice to have. As much as we can carry, I think we'll just carry it all back. I guess.
Yeah, figure out what you can carry. I mean, you might be able to carry most of it. Because that's what Bill does. Bill carries things.
Backpacks and then another person. Yeah, we can get it.
Yeah, with the backpack and Captain Cruz, we can probably get everything. Let's see. I've got 7.25 pounds in my backpack currently. So.
In my backpack, I've only got 1/4 pound.
Oh, okay. So there's like. We have 13 pounds between us. No, wait.
I've got 9 and 3/4 of a pound.
Sounds like you'll be able to carry everything back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 9, I got 2, and then Captain Cruz could probably carry some. So we can probably get everything, I think.
I'm picturing. You remember Hot Fuzz when he's on the horse with all the guns on his back? That's what I'm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing. Like the 2 shotguns just sticking out of the back there.
I'm thinking it's a MMO or something. So I've got a bag on my with like 47 stabs in it and everything.
Sure.
So.
All right. Yeah, you managed to get Cruz. You take him back to his headquarters, and as for the rest of the team, they have all survived. The other 4 soldiers, they didn't defeat everyone at the hotel, but they were able to drive them off.
That's good news too.
Well, I know Cruz is pretty beat up, but we should probably try to make our way out of this town before the Ruskies come back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Cruz and his guys will. They'll definitely agree to that. He says, "Yeah, if the Russians see what happened to their men, they're probably going to search the town. We should head out as soon as possible."
Well, let's roll then.
All And then, yeah, making it back to the truck would be no big deal. That'll take a quarter or two of travel. And that's actually all I have for this little test adventure. Basically, in the epilogue, Captain Cruz and his 4 soldiers will return with you to your little community, bolstering its population. And he does have some information about Operation Reset, which we will go over and will become relevant if I ever run a continuation of this adventure.
Cool.
All right, so yeah, this was only this. Like I said, this is the alpha rules for Twilight 2000. This was only the second time I ran it, but yeah, what do you guys think about the system?
It seems pretty fun. It's pretty streamlined. So
Yeah, I like it. I like that it's a little bit for free league stuff. It's a little bit crunchy. You got to keep up with ammo and everything.
This is definitely their most crunchy system, but you kind of had to do that with Twilight 2000 since it's such a game about like scrounging for every little bit of gear that you have and all that.
Yeah, I like it. Does it primarily focus on military paramilitary groups? I think it'd be fun to play as just a civilian.
So
in this world,
yeah, if you make a character as of right now. The 3 options are U.S. military, Soviet military, or a Polish civilian. And if you play as the Polish civilian, you don't have to have a military career at all. You could have a civilian career. You could just be someone that got caught up in the conflict. In fact, the other game I ran of this, one of the characters was a Polish police officer who was hanging out with the group.
Okay.
He didn't even have a rifle. He had a bow and arrow. That he was supposed to hunt, but he never got to.
No, I like the game. I did the whole Kickstarter thing just because it was a free. I don't have all free league stuff, but it looked really interesting. Sort of a post-apocalypse, and Free League was doing it, so I was like, I'm in. So
yeah, and I like to. You could see if a long-term campaign was being run of this. The travel rules I think would be really cool, keeping up with your food and water, and if you have a vehicle, fuel becomes kind of a liability.
Yeah, I think it'd be really fun to play a long-term campaign in it and really flesh out your characters. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm happy with the system so far, and combat as you saw is pretty brutal with the penalties that can occur, but when you hit, you usually hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
Although you guys were friggin' demons with your attack rolls, my god.
Yeah. We didn't take any damage either. I'm curious how damage would really play out.
I took 1 damage actually.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we didn't take any critical damage or anything.
Oh, correct. Yeah.
So what would have happened with that little bit of damage that you took? That little bit of damage you took wasn't going to do anything, but actually what needed to happen during that shift, I didn't mention it because it was the end of the session, but you have to do some sort of medical care to it. It doesn't heal the damage, but if you don't get medical care in the shift, or if the roll fails, the next shift you roll to see if you've caught an infection in the wound. And the infection can be a nightmare if you don't have antibiotics. So it's even like that little lucky shot, that guy got on you, could cause you problems down the road if you didn't have the wound properly treated. So if you don't have a good medic or antibiotics or med kits and stuff like that, it could be kind of a nightmare. As for critical hits, here let me show you I'm going to show you some of the critical hit tables. This is the thing. All right, some people on the Free League forums thought this was concerning. Other people who were old school Twilight fans loved the lethality of the game. But if you're playing a long-term campaign, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you don't want to get too attached to your character. The odds of him making it all the way to the end of a long-term campaign is low. And not only can your character die, you might choose to retire them. But here's how the damage would work. If your hit capacity filled up, you become incapacitated, and you roll on a critical hit table. And that is that until you can get healed. And you every shift that you rest or sleep, you get one wound healed basically. But here's where it becomes lethal. You guys notice if you roll 1 success with your assault rifle, you do 2 damage. If you roll 2 successes, which isn't so hard to do, that's a critical hit. And if you guys get hit by a critical hit, not only do you take the 3 damage, you automatically roll on the critical hit table. So let me just show you one of them. If anyone ever rolls 2 successes, this is with almost any weapon, even pistols. If someone rolls 2 successes when they shoot you, critical hit table. This is the head table.
Oh my goodness.
So the way it works is the ones that say lethal, if you don't get treated in that time period, you have a chance to die every time that time limit goes up. Some of them have healing time. Some of them are permanent. Like you could lose an eye, and that would be brutal forever. -2 range combat and recon. The headshot's kind of a bad one. But here you go. Here's your torso. This is where you're most likely to get hit. But the thing is, any clown NPC with a gun that just gets a really lucky roll could end a player character.
Yeah.
Even if you think about it, like if their attack is even just 2d6, right? All right, you've got that 1 in 36 chance that they roll 2 6s, and then the critical hit table. It's
That's brutal.
It is brutal, yeah. And on NPCs, you don't do the critical hit table; just the critical hit automatically drops them.